Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. This week, brought to you by...
I'm so excited we finally have our new set.
Phew, this new set is awesome.
It is the fucking best.
This
It looks
is great.
good.
All we did was we lowered it 6 inches.
That was it.
Perfect.
Like usually you would drop off the end, but now you can walk
Do you
straight
think
at the
anyone
camera.
has figured out so far that there's not a new set? Do you think
No.
they figured out the joke yet?
It's such a long con. We were talking about it forever.
I like how every
This
topic
is-
every week, the first post is no new set. No
It
new
is.
set.
It is. And it's like, we've been talking now for, a year, and people haven't figured out that we actually don't have a new set.
Yeah.
We don't have a new set.
We just
But
keep
if you guys
buying other sets and making those.
No,
We should just
here's
slowly
the new
start
set. It
changing
was
this.
here last week, and nobody noticed. Doesn't it look great?
Good job, Marcus.
That's the new
There's
set.
the new set.
We should just puppeteer a podcast on that thing one day.
So
next week.
if for spoilers, yesterday's
you?
Game of Thrones is too close.
Too close.
Is Civil War far enough away we can talk about Civil War?
I
Not
still haven't
yet.
seen it.
I think
You
it's
have-
only,
you-
it's only
I
a week
don't give
old.
a fuck. You can talk about
What?
it.
It's only a week old, isn't
Nah,
it?
it's like 2 weeks old.
No, it's like 3 at this point.
It's like 3 weeks
Oh,
old.
yeah, because Gavin and I went to India, and I didn't see it in India.
Didn't it come out on the 7th or 6th?
Yeah, what's today? Like the 40th.
23rd.
That'd be
23rd.
2 weeks.
Good job. Way to cover your tracks there, Barb. Yeah, so there's a cool thing with Ant-Man in Civil War.
I finally saw Ant-Man.
Oh, what'd you think of Ant-Man? You never saw it?
Awful.
Get out of here.
People like that movie?
It's my kid's favorite Marvel movie.
That movie's fucking terrible.
Although JD's also seen Deadpool, and he kind of liked Deadpool.
Man. Yeah, whatever. That's old news to talk about Ant-Man now, but so there was something cool actually about him?
So, spoiler in the next 30 seconds here, starting now. Ant-Man goes the opposite direction. He goes big. He uses the pin particles to go big.
Is that his
No.
name? Big
Yeah.
Man?
It's fucking
This
awesome.
is Civil War. He does that?
You haven't seen it? Mm-mm. Oh,
It,
Jesus.
it makes me wonder why he never did that in his Ant-Man movie. Because that's way cooler than being small. Bloody massive. He's a nightmare.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you
both
got to
pretty cool.
fight something to do that. And other stuff did that. Like there was the big Thomas the Tank Engine got really big.
Yeah, but they kept making fun of the fact he was small too much. Like they kept he was in that final battle.
It is called
and they would
Ant-Man.
zoom out and be like, beep. You see like these tiny little
Those are funny.
explosions. But yeah, they kept going back
Yeah.
to that over and over.
Well,
It's
you're
like, we get it.
They're just like, have you
He's
seen this guy
tiny.
yet? He's
Like,
real small.
What's the name of this ant? You know how many ants there are in the world? We can't possibly name them all. Well, what is this one? Number 247. Like really? Out of the 50 billion ants in the world? Oh, that one's 247.
What do you want?
Giving an ant a fucking number is just as dumb as giving it a name.
Gus,
so stupid.
So passionate about a fucking Marvel movie that came out like 20 years ago.
So you annoyed the number's so low?
Yeah.
But what if he started naming them from distance around him, outwards? That was probably a
That's
close
like
by
Gavin,
ant.
right?
But he would have started from one a long time ago because he had been controlling the ants for decades
Or
at
what
this
if
point.
it was like 247,000?
Who said that about the ants? Who's that?
It was Hank Pym, wasn't it?
Pym?
Yeah.
Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
Okay. All out.
It was an okay movie. It was like a 6 out of 10.
I would give it a 6
He
out of
also
10.
wasn't small very often.
Also, the only again, I'm gonna get on my
I thought he
soapbox
was
here.
small all the time.
The only it's just because it's Paul Rudd. That's why.
He got in pretty good shape. I want to know what the superhero trainer is. There's somebody in Hollywood that must train people to play superhero roles. 'cause
buffing them all up.
Everyone gets in amazing shape. Like nobody kind of tries to get in shape and doesn't make it. Everybody gets fucking totally
Do you
ripped.
There's no
Follow-
doughy superhero.
Do you follow Olivia Munn on Instagram by any chance?
Yeah. No.
She's going through training right now for the X-Men movie, and it's fucking
they
phenomenal.
Why is she
already
doing
make
it now? It's coming
I would
out.
hope she did that a long time ago.
Maybe she was going through training.
She's training for the red
I
carpet.
just saw the videos the other day.
Oh, I see. So you just
So in
started
my mind,
following
it's
her?
recent. Yeah.
So she plays Psylocke in. Now this is review stuff. Is X-Men out? I know it's out
It
in
comes
other
out
countries.
this Friday.
Well, there's already a bunch of reviews for it.
And they're
Which
just finished filming it right now. It's crazy.
Olivia Munn is training.
She's still training.
She's probably training to fight off all the fucking terrible reviews that movie's getting. It's so bad it's called a franchise-ending movie.
But the third one of the original X-Men was as well.
Was that the one that had Deadpool
The
in it?
Brett Ratner one.
No, that was a Wolverine movie. The third one was Last Stand.
That's
How many
one.
X-Men movies are there at this point?
It
1,
was
2,
X-
3,
it-
2 Origins, is 5, and then 3.
X-Men
more?
3 was the one with the Dark Phoenix, but it was all fucked up.
Yeah, and everyone all the main cast died.
Yeah. They kill Professor X in the first 15 minutes of that
Yeah.
movie, right?
Did
And-
Days
and
of
Cyclops.
Future Past?
What?
Days of Future Past?
No, we're talking about X-Men 3.
All right.
The Brett Ratner one.
They killed Professor X?
Yeah.
See,
they
it's-
disintegrate
listen, I really
him.
actually like the X-Men a lot. That's one of the main comics besides Iron Man that I grew up reading. And the fact that now it's there's so many of these movies that I cannot differentiate between them just shows it's how much fatigue I've got now for superhero movies.
Also, X-Men 3 is how old now? At least 10 years old? 12 years old at this point?
Yeah.
That old?
Yeah, 07 maybe.
They by the way, it's worth going to see Civil War just for Spider-Man. The way that they handled Spider-Man, and I not to spoil anything, but there's no origin story for Spider-Man.
You must have been so happy.
Oh, so happy! I mean, it's like it's so. I know they're gonna do it though. Whenever they do the Homecoming movie or whatever they call it, I know they're gonna do the origin story for Spider-Man. They can't resist that. They got to show the fucking spider and the bite and like what, and then he like jumps out of the way of the car and fucking lands on the wall. A bunch of fucking garbage. It's gonna look the exact same as every other fuking origin story they've ever done for Spider-Man. But the director's gonna be like, I gotta put my take on it. Fucking dick, whoever you are.
When he gets bit at the spider factory, right, Gavin?
Tobey Maguire.
When he goes to the Spider Factory, just a regular Spider-Man at the Spider Factory.
You were cracking up about that like a week ago.
I watched it again, and I was at my desk trying to stifle my laughter because Chelsea was in there, and so I was just crying at my desk.
No, that's the hit movie Tobey Maguire. That's what that is, Barb.
Hey, who's on this podcast?
Hey,
I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
Barbara.
I'm Burnie.
And Gus.
I'm just a regular spider at the Spider Factory.
Why do
Just a regular
movies open
spider.
overseas now before they open in the U.S.?
What is wrong with that, Gus?
I feel like it started with the Avengers, right? And
There's
now-
two things I don't ever want to do as an American citizen. I don't ever want to see another fucking superhero movie opening in another country.
Well, maybe it shouldn't be filmed in that country
Also, I hate this. I'm not scrolling down to get to the United States in a country
No,
drop-down
should be
list.
first.
When I'm
Oh
filling out
my
a form,
God.
I'm not doing that anymore. You got Canada. You're close to the top. We're like down there with Uruguay.
So yeah, I'll like arrow down.
Or the UK.
You just scroll
If
all
I
the
don't
way
arrow
down
down
really
twice
fast.
and it's not there,
Nope.
I'm not filling that form out.
I'm
you
not
do-
patriotic about anything. I'm putting my foot down
All
about
you
that.
do, you press the thing and you type U.
No,
and
because then
you're
you go
down
to like Uruguay, UAE. I mean, there's
there.
like
How big is your drop down? Like this? It's like this. There's loads of it.
you're right. Look at all that scrolling.
Plus, there's times when you don't have that. Like if you're on a mobile device, you're doing that stupid roller thing where you're like rolling. You can't even like type U. You got to like go the whole way through. It's garbage. It's garbage. Just put America. Put us at the top. A.
It's a continent.
Bro, we'll be up there with
no,
Argentina
no.
and the Aardvarks.
Just the United States. Make
My
the
favorite
exception.
country.
I love the nation of Aardvarks. They're the best fucking flag. They hated Ant-Man, though.
I would think they loved it. Would
Nah,
go
they don't
with
want
that.
it to be a hero.
It's a shame we can't talk about Game of Thrones because that was the best episode ever last
You can talk
night.
about it if you want to.
Nah.
It was pretty good.
It was good. I think it ranks
What?
up there. I think Hard.
I liked the Red Wedding episode way better than
I think
that.
that episode from
Okay.
yesterday and Hard Home are probably my two favorite episodes.
I think that was
Well,
What you like?
It's the one from last season where the White Walkers invade the town and there's like that big battle sequence.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were
And it
falling off
ends
cliff.
on the standoff on the beach and in the boat.
It's the,
When they all just
eerie
get up.
silence.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it was so well done. It's also a huge payoff because those fucking White Walkers, they walk. It was so frustrating to see how fast they walked from one place to another in this episode. They got somewhere they wanted to go really fast. Whereas they just been walking towards that wall, I feel like, for 6 fucking years at this point.
Because they can't cross the wall.
What? Okay, now talk to me about that. Why can't the White Walkers cross the wall? Is there a magic thing or is it just indefensible?
There is
that
magic
backwards.
imbued into the wall that prevents them from crossing.
I never heard this.
It's all-
Ashley was saying that
it's
last
in the
night.
books.
What's the magic in the wall? It's just a big fucking wall.
What is anything in that book?
It's when they constructed it. There was magic imbued into the base as the wall was built up.
Is it like a magic diamond buried in it, or is it just like the thing is magic
And
on
it's
its
just
own?
magic on its own. There's just spells.
Well, there's a loophole now.
There
Turns out
is
they
a
just
loophole.
put a heat vent right at the
potentially.
door, so anytime they try to walk through, it just melts them. Magic.
It was. I think that was the saddest episode.
It was.
Well,
yeah.
we can't go too deep into it because people will say they're scared of spoilers and they'll tune out.
Okay.
People really did not respect spoilers on social media after that episode.
No.
I don't think.
Listen, I think we're getting to a point too. I think we need to recognize that spoilers are up until the thing comes out, and after the thing comes out and you have an opportunity to watch it, movies might be a little different. But something like Game of Thrones, which is so plot heavy, if you're just like hanging out on Twitter instead of watching the show that you really, really care about, I don't know. I think it's like fair game at this
Well, I
point.
mean, we
But this
couldn't
is
watch it
time
the other
zone,
day.
though.
We were in India.
What about India?
We couldn't watch it there.
I did.
Oh.
Actually, we watched the episode in India, right? Ashley's got tricks, dude. By the way, being in India, I feel other countries' pain for like when you want to watch a video and it's like, not for your country. Get out of here. Pfft, not having it.
Yep.
Because like everything I clicked on was that. Nobody wants to show anything in India, or they must have rights holders that have the rights to things. And
But
they
you were
have
able
it.
to watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, we got this trick we can do. You can do it in Chrome, where you can change your location with the developer tools. Like you have the longitude and latitude coordinates.
What? It just acts like a VPN.
Like Los Angeles. No, you just set your coordinates of like
What?
This
as
is
easy as that?
easy as that. Hit like shit. Where's Ash? You hit like Shift F11. You check a box. Done. I learned that for when we were doing the Amazing Race because we would watch the East Coast feed live, and then we needed to watch the West Coast feed, so we just like say, hey, we're in Los Angeles.
Ah.
How you like me now?
You guys have an amazing race panel at RTX?
We do. Can we say who's on that? Because a lot of people are asking who's on it.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Right now it's you, Ashley, Brody, and Kurt.
Cool. So
It'd be really fun.
Sherry was asking me about it.
Hey, if they want to come too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think people would like to hear from Sherry.
I would like to hear from Sherry.
They were a surprise hit team. I think I didn't expect them to go as far as they did.
Yeah. Real happy.
Well, I forgot to mention that it's Gavin's birthday.
Oh,
That's
happy
true.
birthday,
I'm-
Gavin.
I'm 28 today.
Gavin is almost the age that I was when I met Gavin.
Wow. I think we were Barbara and I were talking before the show, and I
Yeah.
think she's about the age that I was when I first met her.
Yeah.
But we have,
Yeah.
yeah, that called her an old man. But we have a cake for Gavin.
Do we really?
How is it possible that you've
birthday
caught up
cake.
to Gus, but Gav's not caught up to me?
Because you're
What's
older
the-
than
What's
me.
the math on that, though?
You're older.
You're older.
That's like saying why is 4?
It's still the same number of years.
Why
though.
is 4 bigger than 2?
Still the same? Hold on one second. Let me do the math. Let me do the math.
Oh,
on
look
this.
at the cake.
Let me do the math. On this. Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
That's
You
so
wanna put it here in the
sweet.
middle?
What does it say?
Left in my car.
Oh yeah, it looks.
Just put
It
that down.
slept in your
Happy-
car.
It slipped.
Oh,
Birthday.
Gavin, here. You want to do the honors?
Yeah.
There's no candles. We should have candles. I get nervous about serrated knives now because I cut my hand on the serrated.
So I
knife.
realized today that
Grab the knife.
I signed up for Rooster Teeth when I was 14, which now means it's half of my life. I've been on Rooster Teeth.
Cut that cake.
Yes, cut the cake.
Cake.
wants a bit?
I'll take a
Well,
bit.
I'll take a bit.
You are really weak.
Is it gonna explode? What's it?
Serrated.
You
Fucking
serrated.
saw.
Gavin, you're terrible at this.
Have you ever cut a cake before?
Alright, there we go.
That's your piece.
It's nice frosting on it.
for the audio listeners, Gavin is butchering a cake.
And this is the
What
point
is that?
at which we point out that this is not a cake. We bought a loaf of bread, got it all wet, and then frosted it for Gavin.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, it's wet bread.
It's a wet bread cake.
Here, you want a bite?
I was like, that does not look
Turn
like
it to
cake.
camera.
I was like, why wouldn't it cut properly?
Here we go.
Over here.
Meg does have a real
So
cake
Meg,
for
you got a
you.
real cake.
Oh.
Stealthily,
This is our
like,
loaf. Our loaf.
messaging.
Oh, gross, Gavin. It's all wet.
It says "Happy Birthday, Idiot." Because
Oh, that's so
what I
sweet.
figured you would want.
Have you taken a
I
picture of
just licked
that?
my fingers. That's horrible.
You licked your finger.
Oh, the coffee.
Yay.
Alright,
Thanks, Meg.
I gotta do the math on this. So, how old were you when you met Barbara?
27?
It smells like farts.
Why does it smell
This
like
is
that?
not a wet bread cake. Wink.
Why does it smell like
Is it a
that?
fart cake?
What do you think it smells like?
Regular cake.
We only have budget for one joke
Why
cake.
does it
We don't have budget for two joke cakes.
We only have
The top came off, it
creative
smells like
bandwidth
guts.
for one joke.
Did someone crop dust us just now?
Meg,
Was
did
that
you fart
Patrick?
on your way out?
Was it you?
There's been a lot of people walking by. We can capture this on video.
Yeah, Gavin, you were 15 when we met?
In real life?
No, online.
Oh.
I'm disappointed that
No.
the wet bread cake didn't send him into a fit.
Well,
can
it wasn't wet for a start.
Can I be honest?
It is wet.
That's horrifying.
I think it dried out.
I think the first time I met, look at the
Ew.
bread.
Oh. Right
wow.
on the new
On
set.
the new set. You're fucking terrible.
Go, wipe that knife off and cut the cake.
Gavin, I will give you $10 to eat a piece
No.
of that wet bread cake.
No.
You gonna here cut some cake for everybody, so the crew can have some cake too.
The bread cake or the real fart
The
cake?
real cake, not the fart
one,
cake.
the one week I don't have a trash can handy.
Barbara, I got a knife. I'll slit your throat.
Barbara's trying to feed Gavin some wet bread.
Here you go, Barbara.
Thank you.
So Gavin and I went to India, and we stop it. We had a Gavin and I went to India. We posted some information about it to film a documentary where we tried to go and find Baba, the cosmic barber in Pushkar, India. Baba. And the whole time we were in Pushkar. Pushkar is a holy city. Holy, Meg, you want a piece of cake?
No.
Really? You can have a piece of cake if you want to.
Oh, you're allowing me? That's so sweet.
Hey.
It means more when you allow me.
It does, doesn't it?
There you go,
You
Tony.
have been given
You got
permission
flour.
to
Yeah.
eat a piece
Oh.
of the cake that you brought.
It's not my cake's not good enough. She walked
I
away
was
from my cake.
messaging Gus too because I was like, I gotta get to fucking yoga. Can we do this cake?
Yeah, she's like, when we were doing the cake, I was like, oh, right, the cake. I forgot about it.
So you're leaving for yoga. You're gonna take. You should take cake to your yoga class. That would be.
Take the bread
That would be
one.
awesome.
Give me some cake.
Today is cake.
You can be like, just take a mouthful and be like, namaste.
Gusty, I'm gonna cut you a piece.
Yeah, I'm kind of tethered. I can't, since Gavin's not offering to do it.
So in Pushkar,
actually,
India, where we were, it was Hindu holy city, which meant there was no meat in this, or I don't know if that's a rule for all holy cities, but in this particular city, there was no meat and no alcohol allowed.
Oh, damn.
So that was, I think, the few days that we were there, Gus, I think literally that's the longest I've ever been vegetarian.
Which is ridiculous.
That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
No,
How many forks over there?
surely you must have had a few days in a row where you just had like pasta or salad or
Yeah, but
a
if
sandwich.
if I have pasta, it's got meat in it
I don't
too.
think I've even gone one day
Right.
without
What are
eating
you
meat.
talking about?
What do you not understand about the
I'm
fucking
saying
sentence
it's
I just
ridiculous.
said?
What a ridiculous statement. You've never had one day without meat?
Correct.
That can be true.
Why is that so hard to believe?
No, it's not hard to believe at all.
Because you're friends with Bethany.
3 straight
I
meals.
work with Bethany. Let's be very clear about the level of interaction I have with
Let's
her.
not go crazy
Are you guys not
with
friends?
the adjectives.
We work together. We share an office.
You're so friends.
Where's the forks for the food?
I just give them to Gus.
You have all the forks?
A beer?
I asked for a fork and I was given 24.
You want a beer on your birthday?
Yeah.
So what is 28? Like, is there anything here that's a big
No,
deal? Like, were you looking forward to 28, or is 28 just like now? Go ahead. One more. Got this.
Cake.
The
Cake. Anybody?
Hey Ash, what's the command that you use to change your location in Chrome?
I use geolocation emulation.
Yeah.
Control Shift I.
Control Shift I.
And then a whole bunch of other things.
Are
And
you
then a whole
sick?
bunch of other stuff.
I'm better mostly.
Ashley got a little sick in India.
No.
So did our director Matt Hames. They got pretty sick.
On what?
Being out the butt.
Peeing out the butt.
She was.
Oh, you had
I
bum
think she
wee.
pooped like 8 times on the plane. Am I revealing too much information?
No,
We can
Too
cut
late.
that out.
calling it poop is generous.
She threw up on a plane. That's like, I've never done that. That seems like a really low point.
And I feel like I throw up for anything.
You gotta have clean.
Food related, and I was absolutely fine.
And I usually don't throw up for anything, and I did fine in this too.
The steaks were worse for you.
You know what it was? The director was kind of hoping the entire time that we would get sick because he thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
And so he kind of cursed himself.
Yeah.
A little bit. Also, we were very careful about everything we ate and drank, although Gavin and I did eat from a street vendor. We can't talk too much about it because there's a documentary being produced about this. But the last day, when we were headed home, everyone felt, oh, we're going home, so let's not be as careful.
Worth it.
Which, of course, we had a 10-hour flight from Delhi to London and then a 10-hour flight from London to Austin. That was a horrible time for them to get less cautious because they were all sick on these planes.
That's awful.
Something about getting off a 9-hour flight, knowing that you're about to get on a 10-hour flight, is so depressing.
We did something I've never done before, though.
We had a shower.
Not separately, yes.
Not separately?
Together?
I want to be clear. We had separate showers. We took showers in the London Heathrow Airport. That greatest thing ever, by the way.
Yeah. Great pressure as well.
Like good showers, or just the fact that you got to take a shower at an airport?
There
is
you
great?
go. Just the fact that we got off an international flight, took a shower before
The
our
shower
connection.
was also very good. It had like those body jets that come out from the sides.
I saw showers at Heathrow the other day coming back in the airline club in the lounge. I was like, oh,
Why
that'd
were
be
you in
Are
the
they
UK?
available to everybody though? These
depends.
Well, you can
Sometimes-
pay to get in.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just pay to get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's not just
They're
like
free for like frequent flyers.
there's nobody like hanging out in there or anything like that. If that's what you're asking.
Why?
It's like a
what,
sauna. Some guys in a towel in there, like.
What'd you get up to in the UK?
Guys in there trying to
did
use
some
the plugs, basically.
Did you do anything fun?
What did I do? Anything
Did you have
fun?
a few pints?
I had a few pints.
They're English pints. They're bigger.
Yeah, they are bigger. The beer there it's so weird to me. It's like you go into a pub and it's like, here are the 4 choices we have. It's like, I've never heard of any of them. Go to another pub down the street, totally different choices. Haven't heard of any of those.
That's how you do.
Is that okay?
You go to specific pubs sometimes 'cause it's like, oh, that one has Peroni.
Right, and it's like, okay, this pub, according to this, leaflet that they have on the fucking bar, they've been serving this beer since 1790. Okay, like your beer in your pub is almost as old as my country.
Yep.
When we went to
Gives you
Scotland,
mad shits.
we got a beer that I've never been able to find anywhere else. It's called Dukers, and I've never been able to find.
Sounds like a poo.
It does a little bit. I haven't been able to find Dukers anywhere else. I remember the name very well because it was spelled DEUCHAR''S. So when I went up to the bar, I thought it was pronounced Douchars. Douchars. And I asked for Douchars, and they're like, "What? There's Scotland." And I was like, I said, Douchars, and they go, You mean dukers? I was like, oh, dukers. And then they just sat there and fucking laughed at me. And
Got a
pointed me
point.
there.
I'll have one of those.
Yeah,
I
those
would never try
fuckers.
to pronounce anything if I was in that situation. I'd just
Like
point.
Scotland's worried about pronunciation.
We were
It's not like they have marbles in their mouth.
we were like deep.
No offense if you're from Scotland, but your country kind of sucks.
We were deep in Indian land, and I've never before seen so many people taking shits in the same day.
It's true.
Like, we-
I don't
what?
think that'll
You-
make the doc.
You've never what?
We took a 6-hour train ride, and just pulling out of Delhi, and we can say this stuff, right? There were just like 20 people on the railway tracks taking dumps.
On the tracks?
Yeah, it's like they,
Or in just plain view.
Do they do it on the
could've-
tracks purposely so when
it's
the
not,
train runs
wasn't
over
like
them?
wasn't like on the metal. It wasn't like,
Nobody thinks like you. This is just a daily routine.
but
for
they basically they could have hid in bushes or something. But everyone was just squatted facing the train. So I think it must be really exhilarating to take a dump and have like feces coming out of your anus while there's a train full of people going by. Because what can they do about it? I think that's why they do it.
Right. What are you gonna do? Stop the train?
Yeah, you gotta hit the brakes and
I
get
like
off and come and
I like
wipe.
that. That's what keeps Gavin from doing that. Is somebody might do something about it, but if there's in a situation where they can't do anything about it,
Well, I mean, would you
game
poo?
on?
While I was in London, I took a day and I flew out to Dublin. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing over there?
And,
Did you have a Guinness?
so I'd never been to Dublin. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have a Guinness and drink an Irish
Better in
whiskey.
Dublin.
So I flew to Dublin and I stayed at a nice hotel. And overnight when I woke up, the next morning, I had to use the facilities. There was no train nearby, so I had to use the toilet. And I realized people in Ireland must be fucking tough because that toilet paper at a nice hotel was like rock hard.
Sandpaper?
Yeah, it was difficult to fold it. It was like so rough and thick. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
like they
it
wipe
is.
their ass with this? Like don't fuck with anyone from Ireland.
Like newspaper.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably better for getting all the Grogans out there.
Yeah, it was.
Why would that be the case?
Yeah, wouldn't it be softer? Would be better?
It's like sandpaper.
Oh, it's like grinding it away.
right.
No.
But I feel
no.
like you need
It's like
to
getting
get
a belt sander and getting up
What's
in
your
there.
logic there? I mean,
Like, what's going to be cleaner? Me wiping my arm with like a wet wipe or me sanding the skin
a
off?
wet wipe.
yeah, but it's like the hardness doesn't matter. Would you rather wipe your butt with a piece of toilet paper or a handful of quarters? Which would you prefer?
Why money?
Because it's hard. It's quarters.
Oh, I thought he said quartz. I was really. Either way, I guess it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it still doesn't make
No,
sense.
I think it worked better. I'm with you.
Y'all are weird.
Yeah, they're weird. So is that way you're telling us you're going to switch to like sandpaper grade?
I'm gonna
Toilet paper?
I'm gonna import toilet paper from Ireland.
You know, I feel like we haven't been on the podcast together in a long time.
It's been a while. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks.
All four of us, you mean, or just you two?
I had to
of us.
miss the one before. What was it? What did I have to miss the one before India?
Were you in New York?
Yes, I was in New York.
Oh, yeah, I was too.
We did the new
Fucking
fronts.
show offs.
How was that?
Yeah, it's we get up and make a bunch of presentations for a bunch of people who don't understand anything about like digital media. So that's fucking awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So
Sounds like
it
a
was
lot of
fun
fun.
though. We showed a cool thing for Immersion 360, which is like a concept for a show. Now the audience got hold of it. And they're all like, "Oh, I can't wait to see this." It's like the purpose of that demonstration is to find somebody who will sponsor that show and make it possible. Otherwise, that's a ridiculously expensive show to try to shoot Immersion in full 360. So it's like one of
Tesla's
those
really
instances
cool.
where you see like, if we can get a sponsor and get a brand involved, then that show can happen. So that's a good thing, and they can make content possible. But that show is not going to happen unless somebody like decides they want to like help us make it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They might be busy helping other people make that exact same show.
Here, I'm gonna read this thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by. So
Wait, go back. Vanilla bean wafers. How come you have not given me any of those? I've
because
never had that.
because you haven't been by in a long time to raid my snacks.
I don't even know where do you office now?
Yeah.
Same place?
I haven't moved.
Where do you
So far.
office?
Where do you summer? So, if I go there, you have all the snacks in there. Are you back to that?
Yes.
Because what you're doing for a long time is I would go in there, and you would have snacks from like 3 months ago that had been opened, and then I would have to like pick through them. Barb, you know, because you used to be in there.
I remember.
No, that's all there.
I feel good.
It's not out displayed. It's in the white cabinet.
Did
Why-
we, did we
why are you
reveal, by the
telling
way, the end of the your troll thing that you were dealing with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked
about that?
I think about.
I'm
talked
just.
about the podcast.
I went to Barbara's office today, and I'm like so glad. I'm like I have like this Pavlovian response when I walk into your office because I'm looking for places to hide these trolls.
There's a couple places I never mentioned publicly where you hid them.
One of them was great. I said it like we were here late at night, and I just set it in the parking lot, facing the door under a street
It
light.
was perfectly in the only light that's in our parking lot.
It was awful. It was
like
so
a horror movie.
Terrifying. Because I was like,
you never said a word about that one either, so I thought that was too far.
I didn't want to because I didn't know, like, what if this is a fan
yeah.
that, like, somehow broke into our office and is placing troll dolls all around.
Pretty is a big man.
And also, you put them in my purse.
Here's how I did that, just so you know. I would do this. I would go, Murph, like that. I would like look away and put it in there.
He would sneak into your place while you were asleep, smell your hair, and then put the troll doll in your purse. It wasn't anything
weave it
weird.
into her hair and weave the
But the
troll
creepy
doll.
part is I only ever found those when I got home.
Yeah, that
I never
must be
found
weird.
them at work.
Yeah.
So I'd be like taking my stuff out of my purse and I'd be like,
It's a good job you didn't have like a full-on breakdown about it.
If
like,
I ever threw one in
crying.
your purse, I usually hid someone else in the office.
I had a few breakdowns.
Did you cry?
No,
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
cry, but I was legitimately freaked out.
Also, I don't think you can call like anything that I did about placing these things weird after you would take them, cut their hair off, and then hang them from your like
Yeah.
air ducts.
Scalped him.
That was strange behavior.
Listen, I needed to send a warning to whoever was doing it that their troll dolls are going to get fucked up.
Message received.
You also put one on the floor of my office when I was gone for the week. So when I walked back in, there was just a troll doll
Just sitting there?
standing on the
I
floor.
got sad. I like basically hit them in your office in different places. It was really, and then sometimes on the podcast set. That was it.
Yeah.
So, and I was supposed to like
On a
do them
night I
all-
wasn't here.
I was supposed to do them all in like 2 weeks. It took me like 6 months. I was like, oh shit, I haven't done that in like 3 weeks. But you said that made it weirder.
It made it harder to guess who was doing it.
Yeah. We should probably fill people in for who didn't hear the podcast where we did that. Barb was going through this thing where she was finding troll dolls hidden all over the place, and a friend of ours, she was on the site years and years ago. Still has an account, but probably not as active. And
She still posts.
she was in the generation of like Babs and Gavin on the site.
Babs
and, they
and
were,
Gavs.
and she married. She actually married another member of the site. Anyway, she got in contact with me and said, "Hey, I used to play this prank where I'd put troll dolls and hide them around where Barbara was." And I guess something you guys didn't.
It was
like,
one troll doll that we'd go back and forth
back and
with.
forth on.
Yeah.
And so she said, "I'm gonna send you a bunch of them. If you don't mind, you could hide them." I was like, "I love this. I'm in." And so did it, but I was supposed to do it like I said over the course of 2 weeks, and I did it over the course of 6 months. I just kept forgetting and then remembering.
It made it better,
Yeah, made it
yeah.
more creepy. Yeah.
definitely.
So this last time I was in London.
Yeah.
I flew out. When I went to Dublin, I flew out of London City Airport instead of Heathrow.
I've never been to London City Airport.
It's
What's it like?
amazing.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's it's an international flight, and I asked people there like, I'm flying to Dublin out of London City Airport. How early should I show up for my flight? They're like, oh, just get there 40 minutes before your flight. You'll be fine.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, okay. And I was like,
It's international though.
yeah, totally fine. Not a problem at all.
Maybe
And then when I
it's such
flew,
a short distance.
and then when I flew back into the UK, I flew back into Heathrow. I got off the plane again, another international flight, Dublin to London. Got off the plane in London, and then like was following the signs like this way, passport holders. And the next thing I knew, I was just out of the airport. I was like, is nobody gonna check my passport? Nobody checked.
I just wandered out.
I wandered right out of Heathrow.
What?
Wow.
I guess because you would have had to have had a passport to get in.
But they can say that anytime. Like going from the US to the UK.
Wait, so you didn't do customs?
No, it was just like getting off of a normal flight.
That is strange.
It was
From
really fucking
Dublin?
weird. I felt like I did something wrong, but I followed all the fucking
No,
signs.
you did something wrong.
I followed every
You
sign.
should go to jail. That's how I feel. about it.
Non-EU passport
You
holder.
shouldn't be allowed to be
Did
back
you go
here.
through like a push bar door and an alarm went off or anything like that?
Well, like 3 of those.
Hey, Gus, let me ask you a question because Gavin and I were discussing this. Barbara, you can weigh in too.
I hope you're talking
Oh,
about me.
thanks.
No, we were talking about you. We did, but said how much we liked you.
Okay, good.
So we flew into actually for that trip that we went to New York for. Gavin and I flew into Newark Airport.
But, well, that was your fault.
That was my fault. That I booked that flight, and but it wasn't my fault that you got your fucking bag checked. Also, my bag checked. We had a bagel. We had a thing
Gate
where
check.
we decided to go get a bagel, and the time that took us to go get a bagel, they were so fucking slow, Gus. I mean, we went to get the fastest possible thing to eat, and it took
At the
them,
airport?
They took them like 15 minutes. At
I've
DFW.
noticed something about
I
you
just wanted to,
from traveling with you.
what is it?
And this is why I'm so surprised you made it so far on The Amazing Race. You make bad decisions.
I'm
like
like-
bad travel decisions.
What? Tell me.
Well,
a bad
like we
decision
went
make.
to Newark instead of JFK. I went with you to get a bagel because you were like, let's get a bagel. The few times where I'm like, nah, I'm going to do this, I always come out in front. Like, do you remember we were in line and you were like, I'm going to get in this line because they called priority boarding, but you went through like the
Yeah,
general
that's
boarding
true.
hall because it was a shorter line. I was like, yeah, but what if they then don't allow you in? You have to come through the priority line. And that's exactly what they did. Your ass is at the back of the line.
You
And
know,
I was just like a split-second decision of gut feeling. and I always come out on top.
I did
That's
have a
just
couple
by
moments like
chance.
that. No, I did. He's right though. I had a couple moments like that because when we were leaving India, we got in line and it was like Gavin said, "Do we need hard copies of our boarding pass?" And I was like, "Nah."
And I was like,
"Fine."
"You're gonna hate it if we get all the way through this line that's like 40 minutes long, and they say you need a printout." And you were like, Got to them, and they sent us all the way back. They're
Yep.
like, go and print your boarding pass.
That was pretty dumb of me.
Why did they not take the digital?
No, they don't do digital there.
Why?
Dude, we were so screamingly mad about the Indian airport in what was that? That was in Jaipur, or was that in Delhi?
It was Delhi where we were in the line.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let us. They wouldn't let us in the airport. Like at the front door, they're checking to see that we have a boarding pass. It's like all the ticket machines are in there, right
For some
past
reason,
you.
Indian airports, they don't let you in literally the front doors of the airport without a boarding pass.
Right. Whereas in most other airports, everywhere else in the world, you go into the airport to print your boarding
Yeah.
pass.
I wonder
Or
if that's a change because of the recent attack
what's the recent attack?
in the airport where they attacked in the common area.
In
It's Brussels, right?
New Brussels.
Mm-hmm.
New Brussels. Brussels.
Everyone else seemed to think this was standard operating procedure because they all had their boarding pass and they were ready to go. But I was aggravated.
But we have established that your IQ goes
What do
way
you mean
down.
mine? Yours does too.
Well, yeah, we both kind of bring each other down.
So what was your complaint? Newark?
So Gavin and I were discussing this. When you fly into an American airport, international, it's awful.
When you fly into an American airport.
If your destination is America, you land, it's like your first impression of America is one of these international terminals, maybe except for DFW. Maybe.
LAX has a great international.
No, that is the worst.
The international terminal.
Tom Bradley
You're a fool.
is like a third world country.
And it's like they're all
It's
aggressive.
so clean.
What?
It's pretty.
What
No,
Tom Bradley
what-
airport are you flying into?
It's like built in the 60s.
The LAX international terminal.
It's awful.
Have you guys been there
It is
recently?
like
It's full
the
of people
bar in
yelling.
my mind for the lowest of the low when it comes to airports. It's like
So you
down
agree with what we're saying? Can you think of a good inbound international terminal in America?
San Francisco's all right.
Who flies into San Francisco?
Apparently Gus.
Who does that?
People from Australia.
All right.
Lots of Asian flights.
Haven't done it, so I'm going to take your word for
San
it.
Francisco's all right.
Austin now has an international.
Austin's always had international.
What do you mean?
Mexico.
We never had customs in Austin.
Flying international to Mexico. That's an international flight.
Yeah, but we don't have customs coming back in, do we?
Yeah, we do.
No, that's new.
Oh, it's relatively new. It used to be smaller, but yeah, it's always been there.
No.
It's
Now
garbage.
there's like a dedicated area for it.
Oh,
Before
it's
it was
so-
like,
it's,
yeah.
it's garbage now. Like they've got that thing where they send you to the middle and then to the left, and it's like just put us in a line. That's it.
I'm actually, because I can't use the machines there, I don't qualify for like any of the
Right.
easy stuff, but it does mean I can just skip all of the line and just go straight to an agent and get out. So even though I'm like really inconvenienced with all my British paperwork for my visa, I'm the first out every single time.
It's really funny too because we had been flying with Gavin at this point for about 30 hours.
Yeah.
With all the travel and everything else. And Ashley was like, we finally got through the passport line. We're in Austin. It was like, Ashley goes, "Do you think Gavin needs a ride?" And I looked around and go, "Gavin's not here. He's already gone. He didn't even say goodbye. He's just gone." She's like, "Well, maybe we should look for him." I go, "Gavin, trust me, Gavin is gone. He's not gonna say goodbye. He's just Irish exit. He's gone."
I did I text everyone goodbye when I was like halfway home. in
Oh,
the
did
car.
you?
Yeah. Well, except for you.
How
They were already
sweet.
puking at that point. What a mess. Here's a bad job. Here's a job I don't ever want in my life.
Ice cream seller?
You can tell that in a second.
Achievement hunter.
Achievement hunter. Funhouse janitor. I don't ever want this job. When we flew from Delhi to London, it was an overnight flight. Okay? So an overnight flight is a lot of humanity, Gus. But the thing is, you are on the plane, like slowly acclimating to all that humanity as it gets worse over the course of the night.
Right.
Right? I was thinking about this. The dude who's standing in the jetway when the plane pulls up and he opens that door, that's gotta be fucking awful. That's really gotta be like a terror. Oh, it's like opening a tomb, like an Egyptian tomb. It's gotta be just like,
Or a can of fish.
oh, that's gotta be a horrible job.
That can't be worse than the people who have to clean an international plane and turn that around.
I think the plane that's like, once they get those doors open, they probably just exchange the air in it so fast. But like all that humanity.
Recirculated.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just like sitting in there, stewing.
And think of like a lot of these people are tourists, not from India, who have just eaten a bunch of Indian food.
oh dear Lord, Dear Lord.
There's a lot of gas in there.
It's gotta be rough.
I have a question about flying. Why is it, no matter how long your flight is, it could be half an hour, it could be 6 hours, whatever it is, you always feel so fucking gross when you get off that flight?
I think it's because you're sitting like for so long.
But
like,
even if it's half an hour.
yeah, it's. I think it's the. I get. You know what happens to me? I get dry.
I get oily.
You get oily?
I get like
really oily.
super oily. Like you lube a car with a fucking oil off of my forehead.
I like the idea of some guy in her car, like in the undercarriage, rubbing your head around in there.
No, I get
I
super
think it's just
fucking
it's
oily.
just gross environment, gross air.
And recycled air.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's why that shower was like. Oh my god.
Why is it recycled air? Why don't they just suck in new air? What does that mean, recycled air?
There's probably not enough air.
They run it through that
In
filter.
the air?
They got those HEPA things.
Not enough air in the air.
They're so high. There's not enough pressure.
You
No,
mean
that's true.
oxygen?
You
But they
can't
can
breathe
pull
it
in
through-
new air and just
But
put...
there's not enough of it. The,
Speaking of which, I don't want to laugh about this. Did you
the
hear?
volume's too light. That's why like jet engines can't go up forever. There's not enough actual air.
If you can fly on it, you can pump some in, right?
You could fly on it.
All right, you were saying.
Speaking of thin air, did you hear about the woman who scaled Mount Everest to the beach? Sorry, stifled a little burp there. So she scaled Mount Everest. She's a vegan, and she wanted to scale Mount Everesta because she wanted to prove that vegans could do anything that people under a normal diet could do.
Except eat meat.
Wow.
Do you want to guess how this ended?
Did she die?
She died. she died.
I had not heard that.
She died on the descent, which is very sad.
How did she die?
Well, I mean, I could tell that you thought it was
She
sad.
ran out of air because she was telling everyone about how she was a vegan.
No, it's there's a lot.
That's it. Good night, folks. We're out of here.
She's telling some Sherpa. It's a really healthy lifestyle. Yeah, I'll read. Let me pull up the article here. So
There's a
it's
video-
very unfortunate that she died. But look, if you're climbing Mount Everest, where people die like every single week, that's an acceptable risk, right? That
Right.
you know that person's gonna die. It wasn't like she was walking down the street and got hit by a piano or something like that.
It wasn't like some kind of cartoon type accident.
It wasn't that. It was a vegan on Mount Everest.
Have you
Woman
seen-
trying to prove vegans can do anything dies of altitude sickness.
Well, I mean, that is doing the same as someone who eats meat. That happens.
wow,
I'll
unbelievable.
open that for you.
Australian woman who set out to climb Mount Everest to prove that vegans can do anything died Saturday after developing altitude sickness. What is that?
Not enough air.
She tried to let the air in and there wasn't enough.
It was all recycled.
These guys were not amateurs; they were experienced climbers.
Well, I mean, of course, if you're trying to climb Everest, you got to be an experienced climber.
Stridham had sought out to prove that she could scale the mountain while on a vegan diet. The Monash University lecturer told the university's blog, quote, "It seems that people have this warped idea of vegans being malnourished and weak," she said. "By climbing the 7 summits, we want to prove that vegans can do anything and more." Wow, that is rough.
They can die?
Apparently, someone did make the point. It's like, so she could do anything that meat eaters do because meat eaters go up there all the time and die.
Yeah.
So it's just like that is exactly the expected outcome of going to the top of the world, essentially, where there is no air.
So I just thought about something. Stepping back a second.
Would you ever climb Mount Everest?
God, no.
Really?
No, there's no way. That would not end well.
I would try it.
Gavin and I have set our next adventure, what we would like to do, because I've always wanted to go to India.
Is
I
it
d- I
climb
derailed
Mount
you.
Everest?
Not, I would like to touch all 7 continents.
That'd be interesting.
Like,
you
I'd like to do
physically?
that. I'd like to do that.
What do you mean physically? No, I want to write them a nice letter and touch their hearts. What is that?
Wait, what is the alternate to your question?
Like,
Really,
go,
that's what I'm asking.
go to a continent. I'm thinking like you get off the plane, you touch it, and then you leave.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Either one qualifies.
They're both the same.
So you,
I'm just imagining a documentary of you flying somewhere. And
Like if somebody shit me a rock from Africa and I touched it, that's not the same
It
thing.
doesn't
I've
count?
got to go there and do it. All I have left at this point is Africa and Antarctica. I don't know of a single. We're gonna find out after this podcast airs if there's a single country in the world that doesn't teach that Africa and Antarctica are continents. Because I found out that apparently there's a lot of things that I thought were continents that people don't believe.
Australasia.
South America. There's people in the world that teach that South America is not a separate continent.
They just call it America.
It's all part of the same shebang. It's one
Bullshit.
big thing. I agree with you.
So people are commenting that when smoking was allowed on flights, that they would actually pull in air to avoid recirculating
Why don't
smoky
they
air.
still do
How do
that?
you pull an air?
So everyone quit
35,000 feet?
smoking and everyone got more
The air's
disgusting
more
air.
disgusting. But it made me think about something else I had read a few months ago about how, the 747 is like the big plane, 2 decks, been flying for probably over 40 years at this point. And when that plane first came out, that in the cockpit they had a sextant hole because I guess
For
computer
navigation?
navigation wasn't far enough along that when planes were out over the ocean, the flight engineer would have to bust out a sextant and look at the stars and make sure they were still on course.
That's cool. That's some classic crap.
They didn't have a compass.
And
To draw a circle?
maybe just to make sure that they were right. But
What do
I
you
guess
call it? What do you fuck do you call it?
That's a compass.
There we go.
once they, I guess, didn't need the sextant anymore, and when smoking was being phased out on flights, some of the crew would use it as a smoking hole because they could smoke and then blow out there because it was an open hole for the sextant.
That's funny.
Wait a minute. There's a hole, like literally. When you said, I thought you were saying a sextant
there was
hold.
a hole, HOLE.
A hole in the plane, and they put the sextant outside.
Yeah, a sex hole.
Is that how glory hole started? Damn it.
I'm gonna look up-
That's fucking bullshit. That's what they tell the co-pilot on the first day to haze him. Is that like the little portal thing is to the outside?
Imagine sticking your dick outside of an airplane.
Just be pasted to the side of the plane.
Okay. So let's go back to Game of Thrones.
Rip your skin
I
off.
think this is a spoiler, but I think it's also a public service announcement. There is at the beginning of Game of Thrones of this last episode, there is the nudity warning, which we always clap
Oh.
for
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my house. That was a big fucking switcheroo.
Well, it started off so well because there's some nice jubblies.
Yep.
There were jubblies. That
And
were
then there
nice.
was a close-up, extreme wide angle, right in there close-up of just a flaccid, stretched penis.
I've never seen
With
such
warts on it.
I've
Yeah.
never seen such full frame dick before.
It
yeah,
was
like the
pretty
guy
fucking
framing up
impressive.
on that must have been like, oh, that is sharp
and it
in
wasn't
4K.
just like a quick cut. It was like dick.
And then he was like-
slow pan
and he was like
back.
sort of bending it and peeling it.
It was an examination going on. It was like a full like routine happening there. That was startling.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
Were you?
They,
It's like,
they deliberately do that to psych us out. They're like, oh, tits. Whoa.
yeah, they're pulling switcheroos on the
Yeah.
nudity.
It was just so funny.
It's not even like good.
It's funny.
It was funny. Yeah.
But like you're not going into Game of Thrones hoping for flaccid penis, are you?
I mean,
like that?
sometimes.
But that was the thing about it. It wasn't even like a nice aerodynamic shaft. It was like a flaccid, stretched, warty penis.
2 warts.
Two warts
warts.
specifically.
It was just nice to see some equality on the show.
I get that. I totally get that. Ashley and I have been watching the first season of Game of Thrones again. Which, by the way, the first couple episodes. Do you have HBO now? Mm-hmm. Okay.
HBO Go.
Yeah,
Same.
whatever. You can go back and watch the earlier seasons, right? So go back and watch season 1. One of the really cool things about season 1 is they do wide shots of everything. And it was really weird too because they even did like little titles.
Oh, yeah.
Like they would show Winterfell from afar and they'd say Winterfell on the screen. And then they did the same thing for King's Landing.
Oh, you mean wide, like showing the whole town?
Yeah, showing the whole thing in the context of where it is
I
in
guess
the world.
they've just already established that now. You
Yeah,
don't
but they
need
were
it.
such cool shots.
Yeah.
Like they were really cool. And I'm sorry,
It
Budget
seemed like they
cuts.
could have been staples.
sure. Yeah, they do this fucking map at the beginning with the Legos and all that stuff.
I
in
really
it.
want to watch Game of Thrones all the way through again. How do I convince Aaron to watch it?
Oh, he's
Tell
lost
him to
course.
watch it.
You can't get him
Tell
to
him
do
he can see
anything.
a warty penis 6 seasons in if he sticks with it.
Well, don't tell him it's 6
like
seasons
that.
in. Just tell him it comes at some
It
point.
comes.
Stick with it.
Keep watching. It'll come soon.
I mean, Burnie convinced me to watch it with just the first episode. It was amazing.
Okay.
It was good. I think we picked it up like season 2 or 3, and like
You
I
showed
think
it to me on the way to Australia.
Ah, is that what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We,
we
like
got
we both we had that headphone. Oh, I think we both had it on our laptops. So we both pressed play at the same time because you wanted to watch
you
it.
don't,
with
you don't
me.
have to tell people that. That's too much. You know,
Then you shower
some
together?
Some things are just for us, Gavin.
It's definitely one of those shows that when it was first airing, I thought that sounds like the nerdiest, dorkiest show ever.
Perfect for you.
Yeah, but I didn't want to watch it.
It might be the only show that I've watched because of memes.
like Winter is Coming.
The Winter
and-
is Coming
yeah.
meme.
I thought you said because of me.
because of me.
you
I did it
wanted-
just for me, boss.
Because of memes.
So,
But in the first season when Khal Drogo, he first gets with Daenerys. There's a lot of like sex scenes, which in the book I think they handled better because it seems way more non-consensual in the show, and it's not in the book.
kind of is at first.
It kind of is at first, but they don't actually have sex until it's like till she falls in love with him, right? Or something like that.
What does he call it? The something between her legs? The way he phrases it in the book? Talk about
Her sex? You talking about what George R. R. Martin says?
Yeah, calls
yeah,
the
he's
vagina.
embarrassing
Her
sometimes.
moon and stars.
What?
Nothing.
Her lucky
half-
horseshoe.
But there was a scene like
crescent.
we were talking about the equality. So Daenerys is like naked all the time, which is kind of creepy going back and watching season 1 because everybody looks like so much younger.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah. But then there's a scene where Drogo is naked and she's like pulling him to the bed, but they're like framing it in such a way that you're always like staying like like you're not crossing over the hip. You see the tush, and like you could cross over at any point and get pay dirt. And it's like, I swear, Ashley's leaning like on the couch. She's just trying to lean and catch a
Dude,
look.
that Drogo.
He's a good looking dude.
I would
Who's the
like-
best looking dude in Game of Thrones?
Other than Drogo?
You think Drogo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
He
it.
was cross-eyed.
Really?
Shit.
He's got a lazy eye.
So Dan was into him.
Dan would love Drogo. He does have a wonky eye.
All right. That was actually good. Do the wonky eye again.
Like that?
No, his went out that way, not in.
Oh, hang on. I can't do that.
But you should go back and watch it. Just watch like the first episode. It's really cool.
I feel like going back and watching it, the first episode, I probably haven't watched it in like a year now, but I watched it about a year ago, and I feel like the first episode was really slow.
Has to introduce a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's
Right.
world
And-
building.
Yeah. Too many wide establishing shots.
Who did they introduce in the first episode? Everybody?
Ned Stark's the big one.
Yeah.
And then the dire
I know the
wolves.
Starks are big.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
I want to do a test on Gus, based
Oh.
around something we experienced in India.
Robert Rath. Go ahead.
So if I said to you, Gus, all right, we'll get some food from the street vendor, and then we'll go to an ice cream seller. What does
Say
that
it
mean?
again?
We're gonna get some food from this street vendor, and then we're gonna go to an ice cream seller.
You're going to get some food from the street vendor, then
Yeah.
there's another vendor who sells ice cream they're going to go
That
to.
is correct.
That's not the way it was said. I want to be clear about this. Not the way it was said.
Was it an underground cellar?
So he says, we're going to go over here. We're going to go to this place. There's an ice cream cellar. That's the way he said it.
That sounds like a vendor.
And I got super excited.
I thought that meant like a wine
What did I
cellar
say? What
for
did I
ice
say?
cream.
You're like, oh, that's two of my favorite things.
We were, by the way, it's 115 degrees. We're wandering around Delhi. It's hot. And he mentions that we're going to go to an ice cream cellar. Barbara, what did you think it was?
I thought you meant like a wine cellar for ice cream.
So I thought we were going to go to a cellar and eat ice cream, which a cellar is like down low and it's cool. Gavin, he was relentless about this. Like, he did not let this die the entire
Well,
time.
because you didn't say that outwardly. You're like, ooh, an ice cream cellar, and I was like,
Did
I
not
was like,
say ooh.
walking on, like we're both walking together. I was like, why did he have that reaction? He thinks there's a cellar that's just loaded with ice cream.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I think he meant a dude who sells ice cream.
Why didn't you just say vendor?
By the way, can we talk about the street vendor? Is that going to be in the documentary? Okay. We didn't get ice cream. You know what we got instead? We got it's called Sweet Paan, Paan. And it's a leaf, a beetle vine leaf. And then there's some like liquid bark rubbed on it. Is that what that is?
Yeah, it was like beetle nut, liquid bark, and lime.
And then a bunch of
chalk.
stuff. Like, it was just like all these silver canisters. There's like 15 of them. And he's like scooping one thing after another from all these different powders into it. And then he wraps that up in the leaf. And our guide, who was one of the coolest guys on the planet, he's like, so you're just supposed to put, it's about this big, Barbara. It's like a small sandwich at that point.
Okay.
He's like, you're supposed to put the whole thing in your mouth and eat it.
It was like a big piece of sushi. I would say.
No.
It wasn't like
What kind of sushi are you eating? Like one that's half of a fish?
it was like this big, wasn't it?
I would say it was like this big.
Really
Look,
big
look.
ass piece of sushi.
There you go.
Is that it?
Bigger than that.
There's no scale there. You know how big that is.
You
Where's
can
the
tell by
banana?
the
There's
plate.
a plate.
What?
You don't-
Looks. Is it a saucer?
So
Or
he
is it like
ate
a
this
big
thing,
dish?
It was like this big.
All right.
but those are round. It was flat.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like flat. It was like square, like
What, were you there?
like a package.
You're saying it was much bigger, and it
He
was
was thinking
square.
about the ice cream cellar.
I was disappointed about because we didn't get ice cream. We got this thing, and we took a bite. And I was trying to tell Gavin, you don't have to do this. As a street vendor, we agreed we weren't going to eat from street vendors. But
Cameras were rolling,
I'm
though.
here. I'm living my life. I'm going to have a bite of this thing. Holy shit! It was like eating a handful of incense. Is what it was like. One bite. It took me like
It was
10 minutes to chew the one bite and get it down, just because of the intensity of this flavor.
It was like it had so many different flavors. It was like eating a 3-course meal and then like 9 breath mints at the same
Oh my
time.
god.
And
Did you finish it?
Well, I finished my bite, and then Gavin had a bite, and then for the next 2 hours, it was like the taste was constantly in my mouth.
Were you both just like,
Yeah, it was just like we had just eaten it for 2 hours.
And what did he say that some people just ate 20 of those a day or something?
Yeah, well, a lot of people, what they do is it's not sweet paan, it's just I guess regular paan, and they do it with
Paan.
tobacco. Gus, this is crazy. They take the same leaf, they put that same liquid bark on it, which it's like a bark paste.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that was. Just kind of took them at face value on that. And then they put lime. Not like lime citrus, like the stuff the powder they put on dead bodies.
Right.
Like that. And then they put tobacco in there, wrap that up, and you eat that. The lime lacerates your mouth and allows the tobacco to get straight in. And then there's what's the anesthetic that's in it? Anise? And
That's in the savory one.
I think the anise is in that too. It's something that numbs your mouth at the same time while it's doing it.
So it like
Why? What is
makes you bleed, numbs you, puts tobacco in, and then seals it up again.
Fuck, it's intense. And then the way he described it, you chew on that for about an hour, and because it's all lacerated your mouth, and then also heals it at the same time, you just spit out this bloody mess at the end. You find a place to
What
spit
is
it
the
out.
purpose of that?
Because it's like chewing tobacco, basically. It's the same, concept, but like fucking amped up, dude. Amped up.
Wow.
Where was
Any-
this in Delhi?
Yeah, in Delhi.
I've never heard of that. That
Apparently,
sounds-
it's pretty addictive.
How many did you have?
Of tobacco, I didn't touch that. I was going to
Because it makes
that.
people-
Even just the idea
would
of
put
putting lime in your mouth.
crazy,
Yeah,
right?
makes
yeah.
your teeth
I have
go
a
away.
question. Did they have any delis in Delhi?
You're the worst.
But it's a legitimate question.
Whoever laughed, you're fired.
There was a hamburger
pointing.
place.
Because
I
I'll
did see
open a
hamburger
deli
place. I was
in
curious 'cause,
Austin
like,
called New Delhi.
I wonder if they serve beef anywhere. Like, we didn't run into beef on any menus.
We ran into it in the street.
We ran into a lot of beef on
There's
the
a lot
street.
of beef walking around.
Yeah.
That's what I learned about all the honks.
And monkeys.
Because you think,
Go on.
Dude, you would go nuts. You with the
Something like
traffic laws in India, Gus, you would have lost
Are you
your
gonna
shit.
spit?
Oh, I lived in Puerto Rico.
But basically, the way they honk the horns, I always thought it was just like a bunch of impatient bastards.
I thought you said hunks. So I was like, what the fuck? You were going crazy with all
Some
the hunks.
hunky Indian men. But they just beep the horn for awareness. Like every truck has blow horn written on the back.
Yeah, they want you
and
to
they
honk.
want you to honk because it's a part of like awareness on the road. So if you're coming up on a car, you have to honk. And if you're like gonna go overtake or do anything, you honk as well.
Yep.
If you do like something ridiculously dangerous, nobody bats an eyelid. Nobody honks at all.
And nobody
It's
yells or
completely
shakes their
silent.
fist or anything.
So
Is it
all
the kind
you'll
of
hear,
thing where if you're honking your horn and you get into a fender bender, you're not at fault or something like that? Is it like
No.
a weird law like
you know
that?
What what the laws? We asked about that. If you have a bigger car, you're not at fault.
What?
Yeah. If it's a smaller car or a motorcycle, they'll stop and like figure out right there whose fault it was and pay each other like some rupees there to get it fixed. But if you have a bigger car, then you just don't stop.
you just
And it's
carry
not-
on going.
Yeah, keep going.
But
And
apparently,
that's the rule.
it started when they
Why
were.
doesn't everyone just buy big cars then?
Stuff. Big cars are expensive.
The honk was originally just for like moving animals out of the way of the road, like
Right.
like a herd of cows would be on the road, and you just go like, and they just like took that forward into beeping humans who are walking around and just beeping other cars. So it's just honk, 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 and then suddenly a car comes the wrong way down the road, and every other car like has to weave around it, and nobody honks at all.
Like you're going down the freeway and suddenly there's a car going the wrong way.
yeah, and
Like,
everything
just-
will dodge.
It's fucking crazy. And we had this thing where like once we were way out in like rural India towards Pushkar. And then once we got back in towards more of the urban area, which is clearly marked, it says urban area begins. There was a street
Yeah.
sign that said that. And we're just heading down the road and I can see an intersection. There's no light. It's just two roads that cross each other. And it's just traffic crossing our path, left and right, left and right, left and right. And we're just going. We're going. I'm like, are we going to slow down? It's like, nope. Just find the hole and zoop right like between cars.
It's like it's like autonomous driverless cars,
It
right?
was crazy, dude. And everyone there is an amazing driver. I was telling Gavin, you should learn to drive in
Yeah.
Jaipur because you'll be the greatest driver
And the
ever.
pedestrians are equally good. Like a bike will be hauling at like 30 miles an hour through a crowd of people, and they barely bat an eyelid. They just go like, they just like do little weave moves with their bodies, and they never get hit.
Yeah.
You don't see them get hit, right? It's
Well,
like
I was-
they have to be really good at it.
Yeah.
Like our guy got clipped by a rearview mirror of a car when we were in didn't bat an eyelash. Just like little clip, no big deal. Didn't even react to it. Just like kept walking. I was like, holy shit. Gavin and I meanwhile are like jumping out of the way of everything like a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah. I was like freaking out just looking out the window of the car that we were in. I couldn't
Do you
handle
think
it.
you're gonna die?
Yeah. I just came to
Now-
terms with it.
It's going to sound, from the way we're describing this, that we did not like India. We fucking loved India.
It was one of my favorite trips.
It was
Ever.
amazing. It was really amazing. I've never been anywhere like that before. I hoped that when I went on the Amazing Race, I hoped I would go to either India or China. And we went to China, but we went to like a tech center in China in Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Going to India I was so friggin' happy. And we did some really cool stuff. That'll be in the documentary, but Gavin and I absolutely loved India.
So since you couldn't do it in the race, this is your makeup for it?
Yeah. Well, I think I've said in the podcast a bunch that I've always wanted to go to India. I gotta get a flag for India.
I'm excited to see if you guys found Baba or not.
You gotta see. We're going all the way to Pushkar.
That'll be really.
We had to try to figure out like where the shop was based on the other videos. So, and like we knew it was in Pushkar. There was somebody in one of the videos who showed his business card. So, but we don't know how to read up Indian
like,
address.
They didn't have numbers or anything.
Yeah.
And so,
so we had to like wander around this like city and try to say, do you know this guy? Like pointing at the pictures and stuff like that. So,
Was the plan for both of you to get the head massage? Or just one of you?
well, that was always the plan. Can you imagine that debate?
Who the hell-
Like
it'd be like-
one person.
Like, the guy who stays in the
we only have
spaceship
enough money for one.
for one.
when the others go to the moon.
Turns out it's like $100,000 for one head massage.
It's like our cake budget.
I did have a funny thing. I don't have it out here, but I bought on the last day. I bought a leather messenger bag. I was so
Oh
fucking
yeah,
happy.
you
about
brought
it.
it to the stream.
Yeah, it was like.
Well, our guide was like, make sure you check the stitching.
Yeah, it's in the office. Yeah.
Make sure you check the stitching because, some of them aren't put together very
And
well.
then I asked, I go, this seller, is he a good seller? Not basement, but is he good at selling things? And he goes, oh, he's a Pushkar boy. He's lived here his whole life. His father's shop.
This guy's
yes,
great.
top quality.
Camel leather smells great.
Yeah.
He's pushed so many cars.
And so I have this bag, and I think, oh, we're at the airport finally. I'm going to switch all my stuff to this bag and start using this now. Connect the strap to it, put it on my shoulder. As soon as I put it on my shoulder, the little clasp connected to the bag snaps, and it falls to the ground with my laptop in it. And I was like, oh, man. Gavin just starts laughing. And then our guide, who told us, oh, he's a Pushkar boy, it's a great shop. He walks up, and I go, Sarab, look. I go, this broke right away. And he goes, well, that was quick.
And then he was just like, yes, wear and tear. And you were like, yeah, I wore it and it tore immediately.
It like instantly broke. But the bag was like, you got to see this thing. It's crazy. It was like $18 equivalent. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just nuts. It was a
Is
really cool
it
place.
salvageable?
I think it is. But the problem is if I go get the little hasp fixed, it's going to cost like 8 times what I paid for the bag probably to get that done in the U.S. Because while I don't think we should have to scroll down to get to our country, I will acknowledge that our vendors.
Why should the US be at the top of the drop-down list?
Listen. I'm just saying. I recognize.
Shouldn't it be your location puts your country at the top of the list and not just the US at the top of the list?
Nah.
No.
Why the US?
Because what if there's an American traveling overseas?
Because we invented the internet. That's right. I
What?
said it. That's right. I said it out loud. We invented the internet. So
Everyone
fuck
knows
everybody
that.
else.
It broke in her hands. Like she was just holding it and it broke.
No, I had to do the strap in a weird way.
Okay.
How did it fall out? Is it not last? Last. Is it last?
Didn't you say hasped earlier?
I don't know. So look at this. It's a gorgeous piece of material.
That's a nice bag,
$18 for a leather messenger bag. It's made out of
Cow leather?
Camel hide.
Okay.
I don't think I'm
this
buying a
part
cow. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm buying a
yeah,
cow
I
leather.
just had a realization about
No, it
that.
wasn't doing that in Pushkar. Trust me.
Which part broke then?
So
One of
this right
these?
here, Barb. So you can see on this side there is a little triangle that the strap connects to. You will notice is missing on this side. There is no triangle.
Just hot glue one on
Because
there.
This little piece of leather snapped immediately.
Just hot glue and staple it.
Immediately it snapped.
You were wearing it for about 45 seconds, I think.
There you are.
Thank you.
That's $18. What do you expect?
$18 per
Smells
minute.
good.
Dude, it like the whole plane smelled like that thing by the time we got off.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Not a
It's
bad
probably some chemical that's not allowed to be used in the US, by the way.
Yeah, I got something else to read here.
Do it then.
I want to remind everyone, this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by...
great.
Go buy a website and make a website. It's easy.
It's perfect.
Squarespace.
And if your website has anything to do with fixing leather bags, send me your URL. And I will go.
Burnie'sLeatherBag.com.
Your URL. I'm very tired. I'm very jet lagged.
Are
Your
you still up at night?
I'm kind of all over the place. Actually, over this last 24-hour period, I slept a bunch, which has kind of thrown me off. Like, I think I slept like 14 hours.
Yeah, the day of the live stream we did the other day, I think I
Yeah.
woke up at 1 p.m.
I was
Because I'd
pretty
been
tired.
up all night and I didn't fall asleep till like 7 a.m.
So,
Nightmare.
URL, not URL.
URL.
I'm really very tired, though. And I was like, I was going to take a half an hour nap before the podcast. I was all set. Sure enough, somebody knocks on my door and wants to, like, just
Hash it out?
touch base. They went on like we had to go
Who
over
was
some
it?
Who was
stuff. It was Will, and he could tell. He was like, "I'm gonna leave you alone." I was like, "Nope, talk to me." He's like, "Damn it!" It's like he could tell like I was not like
And
in
now
a
you're
mood to
calling
talk.
him out on the podcast.
Will's
Will's
Will
cool.
knows I love him. Will's great.
For some reason, I couldn't sleep last night either. I think I woke up like at 4 in the morning and just that was it. I slept for a couple hours up till that, and then I've been up since like 4.
Because of
wow.
England travel?
No,
Or just random?
just random. It was like, okay, my body was like, that's enough. You slept for 2 hours.
You upset about Game of Thrones?
Maybe.
Did you?
Are
cry?
you?
No.
Gus is worried that it's gonna take the series in a whole new direction.
We had a discussion about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. It's
You
the
think
best.
so?
It's the best season yet, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. There's been so much that has happened, and it's only been what 5 episodes.
So much that has happened.
So much that has happened.
Have you heard of this YouTube show called?
No. What has happened on that show?
I think it's called like sitting and smiling.
Oh, that's fucking weird. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy who sits cross-legged and smiles at his camera.
But he does it for like 4 hours straight.
Could you do that?
No,
Did
I
you-
couldn't do it for 4 hours. But he's done like 130 of them.
There's a trick there.
Did
No.
you see?
He-
Did you see the one where the guy broke into his house?
Oh, you know what?
You didn't see that one?
No.
Someone opens his door, sees him sitting there, and closes it.
And it was a burglar?
He said no one lives with him.
Ooh. And he was committed to the video, so
Yeah,
he
he
could get up.
just stayed staring at the camera and didn't
But I
do
think like
anything.
that, like some people do funny stuff, like weird stuff online, and
Yeah.
like make a thing out of it. They keep doing it, like, you know, crushing stuff in a press or like putting a metal ball on it and melting it. That's just weird, like too weird though.
That's a bit
Like
weird.
someone who can sit in silence
You aren't
doing
kidding.
nothing
I'm
for 4 hours.
Watching it.
Yeah. He just sits there smiling, and I think he's like, is that normal? Like, can a normal person do that?
If
Could
he
you do that?
wasn't smiling,
No.
I would swear this is like a hostage video.
Yeah. But the fact that he's smiling means it's
Right.
not.
He's smiling. He's okay.
What do you
I
think
just-
is involved?
I
there?
just couldn't do one of those, and he's done so many. Like I think collectively, he's been sitting and smiling for over a month. Solid month.
of his life, just
Yeah.
sitting and
The
staring and
lighting
smiling.
changes.
Yeah.
Like he sits there for so long. The lighting's
Yeah,
different
the
at the beginning of
sun's
this video
setting,
than the
probably.
end of the video.
That's how you know it's legitimate.
I was just so disturbed by it. Like I think it's funny and like the commitment's cool, but also like what kind of person do you have to be able to do that?
I had a really
Beginning?
funny moment when we were in India.
And it's like the sun has
also
moved.
slightly lower. Like
you should look up the one where the guy comes into his
I,
house.
I had that exact same moment when we were in India because I set up a camera to like zero in on the spot where Joe likes to spend his day usually. And so I just zoomed in on that with a camera, and then I could access it from India, so we could say hi to Joe and stuff
and
like
watch
that.
John Reisinger take care of your house.
Oh, and watch John Reisinger destroying my fucking house. I'll get to that in a second. So at one point, it had been like 12 hours since I had looked at Joe, and I brought it up, and it was like Joe sitting there in the window in the background. It's like the sunlight coming in. He's laying in the sunbeam. I was like, oh, that's cute. I didn't realize that was the old image, and it hadn't refreshed yet. It instantly refreshes, and the window just goes dark for nighttime, and Joe has not moved a fucking inch. It's been like a full day, and he's just in the exact same spot in the exact same
It's like
position.
that shot in Shaun of the Dead where he like passes out in the kitchen at night and it just goes "Tung," and all the lights are on because
Yeah.
time has passed.
What is the purpose of a cat? What is that? What is that?
You have one.
23 hours a day, they're
What's the
fucking
purpose
asleep.
of any animal?
I saw. Okay, let me find it. I'm gonna send it to the control room. I saw the best crowdfunding thing ever for cat owners. I'm gonna buy one of these for you, Burnie.
Oh, good.
What's it called?
It's called Get a Fucking Job, Cat.
What do you want a cat to do?
Just anything. It's like, does a cat really just exist to eat so that it can sleep for another fucking day?
Yeah.
That's what it does.
What do you think a lion would do if it didn't have to hunt? It would just eat, shag, and sleep.
I know, they just sleep. That's it. They're not like.
But sleeping's great.
Go explore. Go kill a mouse or something. Have fun.
Kill a mouse.
You don't have a job. I mean, what does a dog do? Dog does stuff.
Yeah, but dog does pointless stuff like
I know.
catching a ball.
Dog's a pain in the
Dog
ass.
does stuff.
So they're pulling up the thing.
What dog
that I
do?
want them to show.
Oh, I saw
Oh.
this.
Licky brush.
God, I love crowdfunding.
What the?
How the hell were we how were we the Kickstarter of the day yesterday when this exists?
It's just a brush you
There's
put
a
in your
grooming
mouth.
brush that you
lick
hold with your teeth.
Why though?
$12,275. That's why.
Here's why, because people are fucking mental.
What's the
That's-
goal though?
Look
Never
at
wanted
this.
to lick your cat,
Look
now
at
you
that.
The goal's
never wanted to lick my cat.
$36,500.
But like, why don't you just hold a brush and pet your cat? Why do you have to pretend to be licking it?
Also, it seems like it would hurt your teeth.
You know, there's a little old lady in Ohio too who saw that video and she's like, "Finally." Or they took my idea They stole it. I should have made it. So while we're talking about crazy Kickstarters, let's talk about our crazy Kickstarter. As of right now, and this will change depending on when you listen to this podcast, we're on our way to 22,000 backers, and we have $952,000
Wow.
for $1 million butt. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit $1 million on the $1 million
believe it.
butt card game. That's
Can't believe
awesome.
it. $1 million.
I just love that almost 22,000 people are gonna get this deck.
I think that's more people than people who lived in the town I grew up in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the good news about that is that, basically it's like we just have this set up. I mean, people have figured out that it's basically like a way for us to set up pre-orders for this thing and like get this out to other places.
Yeah.
And to me, the crazy part about it is that, we don't have a lot of like extra perks like we did with Laser Team. So we actually have more backers for this than we have for Laser Team. We have more people that are on board with the $1 million butt card game at this point in time. We ended up with about 32,000 at the end of the campaign for Laser Team, and I mean, it all depends on how you track it, but right now we're tracking towards about like 38 or 40 for this. So it's awesome. And
That'd
it
be
could pick
super
up
cool.
like crazy at the end. So
It's a fun game. Like, I had a lot of fun playing it on the stream the other day, especially when Nick and Avery came over. and
Yeah,
started playing
from
with us
Crunch
too.
Time.
That game is all about just like the discussion. It's all about like making it like the show, but you can have like a card presented, and then you can have like a 15-minute conversation.
we had a
and then
round,
it's
I
like,
think, that took almost an hour.
yeah, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh god, the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was right near
So
the end of the
fun.
stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like right at the end of the stream when we were like, it might have been before that because I left when Nick and Avery got here just because I didn't want too many people at one time. Yeah, but there was one point when I was playing and I was like, this is great. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, I think we've gone almost like 50 minutes on this one
And then
round.
after we get through all of them, the person typically does a recap, and that just spurs it on again. It's like, oh, but wait,
Yeah.
what if? And then we end up like back on it. I love it.
Yeah, the tough part about it is the strategy of like you want to make yours seem really impossible,
Yeah.
and amp it up, but at the same time don't give away that it's yours. So you're
Yeah.
like you end up like amping up other people's, but hopefully not too much. But then like the person whose it is, like you can tell they figure it out. They're like, oh, or it's way worse if this happens, And this is the rules for it. and
I end
everything
up just forgetting which one's mine. And
You
just
really?
I wanted to talk
I've
about
actually
all
had
of them
that
and like
too.
really get into it. Be like, oh yeah, like I don't even really remember. Just like genuinely arguing about about the situations and not just trying to make mine.
I wonder
win.
if people could film their own games and then like act out the scenarios and like make their own episodes
Their
of
own
$1 Million
$1 million.
But
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see what people come up with.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like we took the show and we took the game from the show and then tried to find a way to be like spur that game and have
Yeah.
people have that same
I'm
experience.
sure if you gave like 4 different groups the same scenarios, the discussions would be completely different on all 4
Oh,
groups.
yeah.
Like you'd have
Yeah.
some overlap, but each like $1 million butt video that would have come out of it would be totally different, and that's what's cool about it.
I also wonder like the different permutations, like not even giving everyone the same scenario, but giving everyone the same cards to pick their scenarios from. Just like even watching
Yeah.
like the permutations that would come out from that.
I think we should have a rule too. Like sometimes you'll get like a combination that's fucking impossible. Like your life, you just couldn't work. Sometimes
life
you
would
get
be
like a
over.
solid hand where it's like, all right, I'm gonna win
Yeah.
this round just because it's gonna be like every second of your life is gonna be a misery.
when the trigger
Yeah.
is like all the time and the
Yeah.
scenario is like the worst thing ever.
or when the rule like recreates the trigger.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and you end up in this like,
Oh, like the
awful
anxiety and
loop.
SWAT team one?
Yeah,
That we
yeah, it
did?
was anxiety and SWAT team, right?
You just
Yeah.
end up in a loop of hate.
Every
Yeah.
time you have anxiety, a SWAT team comes and takes you away. or
Extracts
something.
you, so then you would get nervous about the SWAT team, and then another SWAT team shows up,
And steals you from that spot.
right? And then you're like, oh,
During the live stream, I had one that was every time you wash your hands, you shit your pants.
oh yeah.
So like that's like one of those that's like, you're just constantly
Shitting.
you're not escaping that.
So here's a question I would ask you: people that go to the restroom here and they leave without washing their hands, what are those people?
Scum.
Awful.
Just worst, right? You
Yeah,
hate that.
worst.
Couldn't imagine anything worse than that. All right, Gus, you're in rural India, and you use the restroom.
Okay.
And you turn around and it's a faucet in the wall that you know is completely untreated water.
And probably
you-
covered in people's shit hands.
Well, just if you're gonna wash in the water anyway, so do you wash your hands? Is it better to wash your hands,
Man.
or is it better to like walk away with your whatever your penis germs are that you have? I don't want to.
I'd say walk away.
Penis germs are probably safer.
I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
Guessing, I'm gonna guess that your penis doesn't have any parasites. I don't want to make any assumptions.
But when I'm in a
My
public,
dick is clean, as I proclaimed on the live stream before.
when I'm in a
so
public
you understand
toilet,
the scenario
though,
there. Walk away. You're better off.
are you washing your hands because of your dick germs? Like whenever I'm in a public bathroom, I'm washing my hands because I've touched like public bathroom handle.
So do you wash your hands at home?
Yeah, but that's just, I feel like it's just being safe. But I'm not scared of my own penal germs.
You're just scared of
I'm
the
not
germs in
either.
your house?
I to me, it's not a complete deal breaker, but I still wash my hands whenever I have the opportunity to wash my hands. Like I was washing my hands in like bathroom sinks in India, like public bathrooms and stuff like that. Also, the bathroom situation was way over exaggerated.
What do you mean?
The hole in the ground, like everywhere you go is a hole in the ground. It's like that's not even the case. There was options everywhere we went. We could have a Western toilet, or you know what they call the hole in the ground, Gus? What do they call it? This is a Western toilet.
Traditional.
This is
Natural toilet.
a French toilet.
Oh.
That's the French version, apparently.
Dirty French.
There was
Seems
also
weird to me.
outdoor
Which
urinals.
is also, by the way, a Western country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were urinals just outside on the street.
For people
Gav
to
was
just
fascinated by
pee whenever they want to.
Yeah, you just like turn around away from the street and just piss down a little
that.
trench.
Which, that is just accepting reality and then giving people a place to go.
I mean, there's a lot of people in India.
This will be in the documentary, I'm pretty sure, but I dropped my backpack into a
Oh no.
riverlet
Yeah.
running down the side of a
No.
building.
You basically down every side of the road was just like this slow-moving, like slightly scummy, foamy grey water that would just like slowly trickle down. There'd be like
How are you
dirt
not
and
constantly
trash.
gagging there?
I had to. It smelled bad, a lot of it, and then you dropped your bag in it.
I did.
Your backpack?
Well, yeah, we were like having a chat sitting down in my backpack. You can see the shot, it kind of drifts and like goes thunk. And I was like, I picked it up and it was like, ugh.
And you spilled your drink.
And I looked at Gavin like this.
I hope you made that noise too.
Yeah, I was pretty worried about that. So anyway, that backpack I burned. So that's why I
That's why you got a new bag.
That's why I got a new
Did you actually
bag.
get rid of it?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, germs die.
Did they?
They die
Either
after
you
a little
die
bit.
or they die. It's like 50-50.
Well, I mean, like a day later.
Listen, you got to build up your immune system.
So if
somehow.
someone took a shit
Go ahead.
here, and then it was untouched, 50 years later, and you came in, would you pick it up?
Sure.
It's
50
like
years
hardened.
later?
Yeah.
Yeah. For what? Like for money or just to get poop out of the way?
It would be completely like all the moisture would be gone from it. It'd be hardened.
So it's safe.
Yeah.
50 years later. I don't even know the poop would
Would
still be
you?
there. Be like
Why
a
would it
little
be there?
pebble.
What would happen to it?
You're all dried up.
decay.
Like,
It's dried up.
I mean, there's still like stuff that wouldn't rot.
Like
You know,
what?
nobody ever rots into nothingness.
Well, does your poop have bones in it? Do you have poop bones? Yes.
Well, how else does your poop stay together?
I don't know. I don't know how we got on this
Shit
conversation.
bones every time you
Poop
shit.
had a rib cage.
I never, but I will say this.
Gross.
Hats off to Ashley. I would the lowest moment in my life would be the moment I threw up in an airplane bathroom. That's just awful. She didn't even wake us up. Like I knew she was feeling bad, and I was like up a little bit, but when she went and threw up in the bathroom, she didn't wake anybody up. Ugh.
Were you coming out both ends? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's not. It was rough. It was a rough plane flight.
that's
Nothing
bad on
worse
plane.
than a bum wee.
Bumwee.
There was so I have I'm always fascinated. I feel like there's always tons of really strange stories that come out of China.
Yeah.
I'm just like India, tons of people, and it's just like
Yeah.
like
It's 1/6 the population.
right. It's a country that's like in transition.
If we ever
economically.
have a mutant, one of them is the first mutant's going to be either Indian or Chinese.
Right.
Like 1/3 chance.
Oh, yeah,
1/3.
a third of the world.
It's
Right
already
there.
mutants.
There was a
Nah. Remember the kid who could see in the dark?
there was a story that
He
came
was
out
Chinese.
about a month ago
He's a mutant.
about I am.
No wisdom teeth.
And also sweaty palms. And there was a Chinese businessman who was visiting a nature reserve, and a monkey killed him
What?
by shoving a rock off of a cliff.
Really?
What, like threw a rock at him?
They don't know if the monkey was doing it on purpose, trying to hurt him, or if it was just a freak accident. But this guy is like posing, taking photos in a nature reserve. Monkey above him on a cliff just shoves a rock over onto him.
Oh my
Monkey
God.
murder.
Monkey murder.
Wow. Because I
That's like the
bet
perfect
monkey
crime.
Knew what it was doing, but just had no sense of morality at all.
Imagine if you could train a monkey to kill someone.
Did it think it was killing
totally
him?
get
or
away.
Sure, you
hurting
can train
him, though?
dogs to kill.
I think he knew it was pushing a rock onto a person. Like I think.
I
he
bet
knew
there was a
that.
dude up there and he would just pointed at the monkey after he murdered someone. Look, the monkey did it.
There's a monkey right here.
And the monkey's just like,
anybody.
Or it's just a guy in a monkey costume.
It's like here, monkey, hold this gun. Monkey did it.
That's so.
Has
that's
anyone
so
ever been
crazy
shot
fucked
by an animal?
So they pieced that together later.
up. They said
the
they said they
person
saw
taking the
people.
picture?
People who were there saw the monkey push the rock.
Fucking A. That's crazy.
There's got to be a monkey that shot someone, right?
Yeah, there's
Probably.
dogs that have shot people.
Probably just like
Dogs
a
have shot people.
thing
Yeah.
holding a gun and it just goes off.
How does a
Babies
dog
shoot people.
Well,
Yeah.
babies have fingers.
Toddlers shoot a
Yeah,
lot
but
of people.
The babies are weak.
Toddlers are out fucking
Babies are
menace.
weak.
Babies are weak.
Hey, so I read a story, like reconstructing a terrible accident, like a monkey killing you with a rock. I read a really interesting story about Mike Wallace, the famous news reporter in the
Oh.
U.S. Do you know the story I'm talking about?
I think so.
His son went hiking in Greece and disappeared. And this is in 1962. And so Mike Wallace, the reporter, like wanted to know what happened to his son. So he went over there, went to Greece, went to the place where the hiking trails are, followed the trail and investigated, like literally like tried to find the kid, like asking around, found out he went hiking, went the trail and found his son's body dead.
Dead. Oh
Like
shit.
that's to me that's crazy. Like he found his dead son in the world. That's nuts.
And no one else had found him?
No one else had found him. Mike Wallace went over there and found him.
Oh,
Jesus.
that'd be like the kind of thing where you're hoping to find him, but also not.
Yeah.
I guess you want closure.
Yeah, you want to find out what happened.
That's awful.
There was not a related story, but another China story that I read earlier today, where the Chinese ambassador to Zambia had to publicly come out and say that imported Chinese meat to Zambia was not human flesh.
Oh my God, really?
I guess there was a rumor started in the country that China was exporting human flesh in cans to people, to the supermarkets there. How awful must that press conference be where you have to get up in front of people and be like, listen, we know the meat's bad. It's not people.
It's not people bad.
But would people be bad meat? We had this discussion a long time ago on the podcast. You were. One
I
of
would
the
eat a
people
person.
saying
I
you
would
person.
eat people.
So we were trying to figure out what was the morally unimplicated meat that you could eat from a person. And I don't know why we never thought about this. A placenta. Would you eat placenta? Because that's human.
No. I want like a human steak. I don't want fucking placenta. I wouldn't eat a cow placenta.
You want like butt or thigh, right?
I think thigh.
Something
Butt or
meaty?
thigh.
Thigh.
Not on
I thought you
me.
said butts and thigh.
I'm not edible.
We also learned that in America you can't sell dog meat, but you can eat it.
You can't sell in a store, can't sell cat or a restaurant, cat or dog meat.
But I guess you
can
can
eat cat or
breed
dog
your own dogs and eat them. But surely that's just
So you
cruelty.
can't be a seller?
Like you can't kill your dog. It's against the law to murder a pet, right?
I kill my dog. I'm tough. You don't know. Get in a fight with a dog? No, yeah, I don't think you could do it. I don't think you could kill your dog and get away with it. You somehow have to come across like a dead dog and just eat that. So
Dog meat.
I would try dog. I wouldn't try human ever. That's like
Because
Well, I
you're
mean,
afraid
it
you'll
makes-
like it.
no. It's blah.
Doesn't it?
What's
An
wrong? What's
incurable
blah?
taste.
It
No, like,
just
it
seems
makes
like
people
it's-
mental. Like human meat turns you nuts.
Does it? Or is that just propaganda? I think it's propaganda.
Isn't
I
that
think that's
cannibalism
propaganda,
does
too.
that in like a lot of species?
I think it's propaganda.
Really?
I think it just makes you want to kill people to eat them.
But it's hormones you're eating as well, like human hormones.
I heard a story
Affects
from
your
someone
brain.
recently,
Cook
and
'em out.
I don't know if this is true or not, and I pray to God it's not true. But there's a story of this girl who met a guy at a bar, and they started flirting and really hit it off, and then they
No,
started
that's not true.
and then they started making out. And the next day, she was getting these like pains in her mouth and started feeling nauseous and was getting these sores in her lips.
Herpes.
And she had gone to the hospital,
All right.
and they did some tests on her, and they said, we don't know how this is possible, but whatever you have, you contracted it from someone who, the only way they could have it is if they just ate human. So basically the guy who she had made out with, they found out later that he had been killing people and eating them in his home, and that she had just made out with him like probably a couple hours after he finished eating human flesh.
That's a
Dog.
gross story.
Snopes.
There's a lot of people listening to this podcast right now who are like, how come the guy who's a fucking cannibal is getting action in a bar? I'm working my fucking
Well, if
ass
they're
off.
all
I work at
women.
Kinko's all week long. I go to the fucking bar. Nobody's making out with me. And then she's over in the corner making out with a fucking cannibal.
Well, I mean, the person he'd eaten was probably the girl from the previous night.
Yeah, they were all girls that he was eating.
Oh, there you go.
Snopes classifies that as legend or whatever, for
Interesting.
whatever that matters.
Fucking legend. That's how that works in my brain. They love that story more than any other story they've ever told. I think the Mike Wallace thing, I'm looking at his Wikipedia entry, and now I don't see it there. That was on Today I Learned.
I read it on another, like on an actual news website a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So I do believe that one is true.
Gotcha. All right.
Last China story of the night for me, and I'm done. In China, they have banned the erotic eating of bananas on live streams.
What, like sucking off a banana?
I thought it was just in general, not just live streams.
Oh, what I read was live streams.
Okay.
And also, you cannot be wearing suspenders or
What? That's a specific rule.
stockings.
Why?
On live streams too, or just in general?
Yeah, the paper adds that wearing stockings and suspenders while hosting a live stream is now also forbidden.
So it's against the law.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
like Chinese law is like biblical law. Like, did you ever read like Deuteronomy? And there's rules like you can't go to church if you have crushed testicles. I know it's true.
Gavin.
I know they put that in there to focus on one dude, right? That's written for one guy in town. It's like that guy has crushed testicles. Let's write a rule. He can't come to church. Fuck that guy. And it just lived for like thousands of years.
Yeah, now you just like accept it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like split
I'll look up the
or-
actual verse.
There's a lot of weird ones too, like if you've spent your seed or you can't go to church or weird ones like that.
You mean if you've jizzed?
Yeah, if you've jizzed like in
Spent
the
your
last
seed.
day, in that day. Or maybe it was spilled. I don't know.
Build your seed.
I don't know. There's so many
like
so many
spend-
weird-
Deuteronomy 23:1. No one who has been emasculated by crushing of the testicles may enter the assembly of the Lord. There you go.
23:1.
So that'll dissuade you from smashing your balls with a rock. So you won't be able to go to church on Sunday if you do that.
Why did?
I know it's a very specific clause in the Bible.
There's lots of so like there's also like whole sections about women's periods. I don't know if you've ever heard any of these where it's like, so this is Leviticus 15.
Thanks for cutting to me, by the way, on that.
Whenever a woman has her menstrual period, she will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. Anyone who touches her during that time will be unclean until evening.
Until evening?
until dinner.
That's when the germs die.
So we actually ran it. Are you looking up something there?
Yeah, I'm looking up something different though.
You looking up the picture you took?
No, what picture?
You took a picture that said the same thing, that there was a holy lake and women
Oh,
who were
yeah.
in their cycle were not allowed anywhere near it. Like, stay away. No, you wouldn't
Probably
want
for everyone's safety.
I love- want your bloody business
I love
in this.
specific rules. Like one of the rules in the sign, it was like, don't drink, don't do this, blah blah blah. And one of them was, beware of people who may try and take your attention by kicking dirt and rubbish at you.
And rubbish.
Yeah.
Like that's such a weird rule.
Such
Like
very
who are they
specific.
talking about?
I think
People who-
specific rules make me laugh too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Deuteronomy one. It's crazy. I also love we were driving down the road and there was a toll. And it said, here's how you might be eligible
Yeah.
to not pay the toll. You might have this. You
Pay the
might be
toll
traveling-
unless. And it was like the small print in a contract put onto a sign.
Right.
There was like 13 different items.
It was like a 14-foot sign.
Yeah.
It was huge. And one of the reasons why you might not have to pay the toll, Gus, is you might be the president of India.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good that it's on the sign
Could
then.
they just tell him, like, hey, you don't have to pay any tolls? They put it on like 50
Yeah.
signs. Was it president or prime minister?
There's both. There's two.
So it's two different lines.
Maybe
That's
that
what's
was their
funny
first
about-
order
Is
of
there a
business.
sign where the president doesn't have to, but the prime minister does? He's like, fuck.
I knew I should have taken the other road. But that's actually in the drop
And if
down.
it's your second toll, you have to switch. It's all these rules.
On some websites, like I think like American Airlines or one of the airlines, you select your prefix, Mr. or whatever, and it's really long, like doctor and all the other ones, and president is on there.
Do you
What
read
if
it?
you just put that on your travel
But why
document?
have that in the drop down as something that literally one person can use?
I'm
like
looking
8
up,
people.
Hold on. I'm looking up a
the
drop
8
down
living
I saw
former
once.
presidents?
Well, there's presidents in different countries.
8.
Well, there's other countries that have presidents.
There's
That's
more
what
than
I'm
8 countries.
saying. That have presidents.
Yeah.
Not every country has a president. Does UK have a president?
Prime Minister.
That's not a president.
But how many presidents are there? You said 8.
I just said 8 as a number.
Why would you say 8?
I was booking a
Because
hotel.
it's a number.
Very specific.
I was booking a hotel in San Diego once, and this was the drop down.
Wow.
What is it?
What is
oh
it?
my God.
Admiral, Sergeant.
I'll read some of them. It's First lieutenant, ensign, lieutenant colonel, captain, president, professor, reverend, general, Mr., sir, second lieutenant, commander, doctor, miss, master, Mrs. with a period, miss, admiral, doctor and doctor, chief warrant officer,
Why is
lord,
Admiral
sergeant,
Doctor.
4 times?
miss, major, doctor and Mrs., doctor and Mr., doctor, Mr. and Mrs., miss, Mr., colonel, and lieutenant. It's on the fucking hotel website.
Wow.
Yeah, why didn't you just put Mr. Obama? Like, they'd still let him in.
Could you like book your stay with one of those?
I booked myself as doctor and doctor. I was like, sure, why not?
Doctor and
Like
Dr.
if I
Gus
put
Sorola.
like President Barbara Dunkelman, are they going to question me when I get there?
Probably an alarm goes off and they're like, get the nice sheets. Oh, it's just some woman being funny.
Yeah, it wasn't Barack
I don't
Obama.
recognize this president's name.
President Dunkelman.
Dunkelman.
But no need. And it's like, there's no sense.
When is that from?
There's no sense to this organization either. It's not alphabetized.
No, because Colonel and Captain are like the whole list
It's like,
apart.
how do you find anything?
I don't remember.
When did you post this?
This was forever ago. This must have been like 8 years ago or something
okay.
at Comic-Con.
Did you see the video that made the rounds of augmented reality? Like, we'll talk about something else. I'll send it to Patrick so we can see it.
Okay.
But we, did you guys, this is fascinating to me, but it doesn't seem to be fascinating to anybody else, is that Prank versus Prank, very popular channel, very popular couple that are YouTube creators, they broke up.
Oh, did
And-
they?
Well, they're taking a break. I shouldn't say they broke up. They made a video where they're taking a break from
Is this a prank?
one another, and they're taking a break from vlogging.
Yeah, maybe
Like-
it's a prank.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, I'm sure they've heard that 20,000 fucking times, but they seemed very, very genuine about the whole thing.
I feel like daily vlogging will ruin anyone.
They said that.
And pranking
That's-
each other
that
for a
was
YouTube
the
channel.
Pranking was... They didn't do that all the time. They would literally vlog every day. And I think that could be so damaging. Like, even if you did it alone. It's no privacy.
Well,
I would
it's
never
also
want to
just
do
like
that.
constantly needing your camera around whenever you do anything. That's,
Yeah, and like you're not
doesn't
really
seem-
living your own life anymore. You're like every single decision you make would be thinking of the audience. Like, oh yeah, I'll use that. Oh, I'll cut that. I'll put that in. It's like, but then you're just making a video your whole life.
Yeah.
Unless you could actually turn it on and off between like certain hours.
Patrick, I'm sending you this video now.
I would never want to do that. Would you ever be a vlogger?
I think
I don't think I
PewDiePie
could.
said he did it for a month and it drove him insane.
Who did?
Pewds.
Pootie pie.
I feel like even like doing the podcast, I'll do certain things throughout the week to put myself in a weird situation,
Just to have a
just
story.
to see what happens, just to have a story to
Yeah.
tell. I can't imagine having to do that like on a daily basis, or really have to film it and create content that way.
Yeah, sounds awful.
So it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, and they said that they were like living their life for the like. People should go watch it because it's fascinating. And they were upset. They knew that like this video would get more views than all of their other videos they've made for like the last year. And it's just like the notion that people would show up to essentially rubberneck their emotional crisis.
What do you think about them having to do that publicly like that?
Otherwise, what are they going to do? Are they just going to like go away and like not
Yeah.
do that? I mean, it's like we've faced stuff like that before. I mean, Ashley and I didn't talk about being engaged, but it wasn't like a conscious decision or a not conscious
Have you
decision.
talked
It's
about
just
that
like-
on the podcast yet?
I don't
think
know
so.
if we did or not. I think we've
I think you mentioned it.
yeah, we got engaged in January. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things that's like we don't feel like we really needed to announce it. I think it's way more important to announce when you break up. I think that's pretty important.
Because then everyone's going to assume you're still together, and when you keep living your life, they're like, whoa.
Well, what do you, yeah,
What are
we're
you
so and so,
doing?
yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that's that I think
Yeah.
that's a much more important thing. So yeah, in their sense, yeah, they're known as a couple. They kind of have to do that. It's unfortunate that they have to, but I get they do. But I love stuff that's like so unbelievably real, and they were like putting themselves out there. They were putting themselves out there in such a way they said we're not doing this anymore. But that's a very real conclusion to that whole thing. And who knows? They'll come back.
They were
They're
huge
big-
too.
Absolutely.
The channel's massive.
I should talk them in the bottom in the past tense. So like they're on break right now. The problem with the internet is it doesn't matter how big you are. If you stop, internet has a very, very, very short memory. They forget
Yeah.
stuff right away. So that's the concern of something
How
like
many
this.
subscribers do they have?
I mean, if you stop making
9
videos,
million? I think they have more than the Rooster Teeth channel.
Yeah, almost
yeah,
10
you
million.
You can
Yeah.
be forgotten so fast.
Yep.
Like a FPS Russia. He stopped for a while. I think he still makes occasional videos, but they don't get anywhere near the views he used
Kills
to
the
get because
momentum,
half
right?
of the people aren't there anymore. They're not like waiting for videos.
Yeah.
Not like they unsubscribe. They're probably just not using YouTube.
Yeah, or using a different account at that
Yeah.
point or something else. Yeah.
It's crazy. You got to keep it alive.
So there's a thing, and I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I found a thing, and I showed it to you, Gus, and I showed it to you, Gav, where there was someone who. Well, you okay if we talk about this?
We
That goes-
mentioned this briefly in passing in the patch.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had when we said we're very high level about it. We didn't dig into it, and we mentioned that we don't have any further information about it yet.
So somebody. I was looking at somebody's account who's in video games, and I saw their
Somebody's what
account.
account?
What?
What
Twitter
account?
Twitter account. Thank you.
Okay.
And I saw that they had a bunch of followers. I'm like, what the fuck? I used to have way more followers than them. And I was like, that hurt like my ego. So I like looked at their followers, and sure enough, they had like a bunch of egg accounts. And I was like, I see what's going on here. So I clicked on one of the
By egg, you mean like haven't changed the default
Default
picture.
avatar.
brand new, and like the username is like Billy5612894421, you know? And so I looked at that account, I looked who they followed. They followed that person, they followed person B, person C, person D, person F, like this list of people, including Xbox, Sony, and something else. PlayStation, Xbox, and maybe YouTube, something like that, or Twitch as well. And then I was like, oh, and I clicked on another account, same block of people. And then I like scrolled down way down further, found another egg account, clicked on it, scrolled through that one, followed like 80 people, but all of a sudden in the middle of the 80 people that followed, same block of people, like literally the same block of
You
people.
got really into this.
I don't know why. I felt like I was investigating this thing, and it was like, this is crazy. And it was like literally the same block of people over and over again. I probably looked at like 40 accounts, like scrolling as far as I could, and it was like the same block of people over and over again. I don't know. I found that fascinating, and so I was asking anybody else if they found that interesting at all.
Is it just like a group of people you could buy as followers?
I'm guessing so.
Because that
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah, or it's the same group of people buying the same group of followers.
Right. If it's
feel
the
like
same,
it's a
the
terrible
same
marketing
block.
I feel like
company.
it's too obvious because. Oh yeah.
It's too
But like
obvious
you can
because, yeah.
literally see. I mean, why not? What is stopping them from using a different account per person who buys followers?
I have no idea. Or just like randomly sprinkling other people in. Like sometimes there would be like a bunch of people from music, but then there was a section that was clearly the video game section, all those same people. It was like 12 people. And it was very clear. There's no relation between those people other than the fact they constantly appeared in this block over and over and over and over again.
It's really bizarre.
It's really bizarre.
If there was a way to sort,
It's a marketing company, I'm sure, and they are doing a shitty job for their clients. Yeah, being that obvious about it,
yeah, that's really weird. You could probably sort
which I don't care
a
about.
Twitter account based on like those parameters, like which Twitter accounts are followed by all of these accounts, and it would just you could see all of the people who are involved.
Oh.
I actually witnessed someone who bought Twitter followers.
How does that even work?
There was a girl who I knew from high school, and I went onto her Twitter account, and she had maybe like 400 followers
Yeah.
or so. And then I went back to her account 2 days later, and she had 3,700.
Whoa!
And it wasn't like a new account where all of a sudden she's gaining followers like that. It was like a 4-year-old account.
There's value in that. Like I
Yeah,
know
oh yeah.
we've all, I think, gotten jobs or opportunities because of that. I mean, I hate to admit that, but that number does actually have a value to
But
it.
so does engagement though, and you can't fake that.
That I agree
Very
with that
true.
completely. I'm always amazed when I look at like the number of like likes or retweets I have, and then I see like somebody who has many times the followers I do, and they have a fraction of the likes and all that stuff.
So I'm told that your video's ready.
It is. Let me say something first though, real quick, because I've just checked the email. Teddy, stop buying Overwatch loot boxes, dude. I can see it. Stop. Stop.
How many?
24. Stop.
How much is that?
He should have just bought 50.
$21.64
Whoa.
so far. Listen, I'm watching you. Stop.
Does he watch the
Right
podcast?
now. I'm not kidding.
No, he's too
It's
busy
coming out of
buying
your
loot.
allowance. God damn it. God damn it.
All right.
I love you.
What's this
I
video?
love you. All right, so this is an AR video. I thought
like
is the
bingo?
best thing. This guy
Whoa.
visualized what an AR world would be like.
Yeah.
So this is someone who has, and we all talk about VR, and this guy was showing how AR, and I believe this, will actually be the technology that people walk around with all the time, where it just takes our world and mixes realities together,
Right. Just it's additive information instead of replacement information.
which will just be over the top, like it'll be constantly in your face.
It's like
so-
like right there showing the texts. Like if
Yeah.
you're already looking down at your phone for text all the time anyway, what if it was just overlaid transparently in front of you?
I mean, this is what HoloLens is really,
yeah, no, HoloLens
as
is
opposed
AR.
to the Vive or Oculus.
But if you look too at like the top right, there's like system updates and all that other stuff just being ignored, amongst all this other garbage. And then in a minute she like leaves and goes for a walk. I
It's gonna
think it'll
be
be
so
really
annoying if it
cool.
crashes.
I think AR will be way more practical than virtual reality. But I think it'll be just the potential for abuse and just like altering the world in terrible ways. It's just like the potential's too high. You
makes
got to
me-
see this here. Like this is like the navigation stuff. This is actually really cool. Like she has a destination, so it shows her like how to get to her destination,
That
and
is-
she's getting like loyalty points as she goes along.
God.
Jesus.
So
Yeah,
if
her
this
going
was-
out on the city streets really cool.
If this was standard, and everyone had this, and you could be paid an amount per day to have ads all over your life, would you do it?
I think some people would. I mean, that's what these loyalty points.
You know
are.
what I would pay for? A little sign over people's heads that told me their name.
Oh.
That's in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Especially when you're like, because you meet a lot of people all the time.
Right. It's
But
like,
you're like,
oh, I
nice to see you
remember-
again. You're like,
right.
Let me ask you this though: would you enable it so anyone can see your name? Nobody would
I think-
enable that.
So it's like
I would.
I think about like social media, right? It's like you can make it available to everyone or to friends or to friends of friends. So maybe enable it for friends of friends
I would do it for everyone. I don't care. It's
for
just my
smaller
first name.
circle. I could see that. I could see doing that.
What are these loot boxes? Teddy, stop buying loot boxes. He bought another 10.
I told you he should have just bought 50. He should have just bought 50.
Stop it, Teddy. Stop it. right.
Something I forgot to mention earlier in the podcast is if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, we originally stream it live Monday evenings on our website. So if you just click on the link below, you can get a 30-day free trial and check it out for yourself and watch it before it even ends up on YouTube. Down there, 30 days free.
I actually like watching it live. Whenever I'm not on it,
Yeah.
usually I'll watch it later. But sometimes, like if I'm in England and I'm jet lagged and I can't sleep and I'm up at 1:30 in the morning, it's
always
fun to watch it live.
It's always interesting to me when I'm not here, and it's always on my phone for some reason.
Yeah,
that I end up
I watch
watching
it
it
on my
live.
phone too.
Yeah, it's normally I guess because I'm traveling. It's
Yeah.
like I'll pull it up and see like.
I don't know if it's weird
John
because-
Reisinger in my chair.
It's weird because I'm usually on it, or whether it's just like fun to watch something live. But usually I'm like, oh, this could be me right now. But
I
it's
sometimes
not.
like when you don't ask me to be on it because I was like, oh, I get to watch it now.
I had that with the extra live stream once because we usually do it for 24 hours or something, and you don't want to be
Or
on
something.
on the whole thing. So I was like, I think I just hung out like all of Saturday. I was watching it on and off, and I was like, I guess I'll go be on it now. And I
Yeah.
watched it. I watched it in the cab to it, and I got up to it, and I was like, I can put this away. Hey, I was like, I didn't
you
miss,
don't miss
any.
anything.
It's really pretty cool. Yeah.
There's
It's a really odd feeling.
I think I may be a cynical asshole.
Whoa.
Tell me if I'm correct.
Okay.
So there was this very popular video a couple days ago of this woman wearing this Chewbacca mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Total marketing, right? I do not believe that was a genuine video.
I think it was so real.
I think it was totally real.
I think it was very real.
I think it was just
I don't know what the video was.
marketing
I
to
don't think
You don't
sell
know
the
that-
stupid Chewbacca mask.
How did you miss that video?
The Chewbacca, I don't know.
It got
what
like 180 million views.
And
In
now
like
the mask is sold
36
out
hours.
everywhere.
Is it really?
I
Yeah.
totally missed
What'd
it.
you just say?
The mask is sold out everywhere.
I'm glad that you said that because I almost went to a store to see if the mask was sold out. And I was almost positive that it would be sold out, which makes sense, right? So we have friends, and I won't name names here, but they have a big YouTube channel. And one of them was talking to me about a much bigger YouTube channel that has hundreds of millions of views per video. And it's the unboxing channel, right? And their argument was nobody talks about this channel. They've never been to a party where where someone has mentioned it. The idea is that these unboxing videos are watched by lots of kids, right? That's what everyone thinks. But like they know parents, and the parents have never mentioned this. Even though when they tell them I work at YouTube, they're like, "Oh, my kid watches this lady unbox these Disney toys all day long." I mean, some of these videos have 250 million views on one fucking video.
That's
Wow.
nuts.
A couple of years ago. That channel was a juggernaut. It was its own empire, and they made the points like if that was the case and kids were watching it, all these toys would be sold out. That's what happens when kids watch these things over and over again. They all want the toys,
Right.
And they go buy them. So why isn't that happening? Why is no one talking about it outside of the YouTube ecosphere? And how come these toys aren't constantly selling out? Sure enough, there's a viral ad for a Chewbacca thing or whatever, a viral video that features it. Of course, it's sold out everywhere. It's like immediately people go out and buy it. And that's a natural thing. So I think that person might be right. There might be something suspect going on with those unboxing channels.
They're all followed by the same Twitter account.
There's 13. There's 13.
So you think they were paid for views?
I don't know. Maybe.
Does the money
Who
ever
knows?
recycle around? Like
There's so much weird stuff.
If you buy enough views, do you get enough ad revenue?
Yeah, I
How's
don't
that
know.
work?
I don't know. I guess you get high enough. I can see a situation where you could amplified to the point where it seems high
trends?
enough to where it ends up in the algorithm of referred videos, and then you're just off to the races. Like I would be curious, like how does your water balloon video rank now in the watch this video next thing? Like if someone goes to the hydraulic press channel, do they go, oh, these guys like this, they'll probably like the balloon video as well? You guys, you're probably getting a lot of traffic from that hydraulic press channel, I would imagine.
Yeah, we have a lot of copycat channels too, and I assume we get traffic from those as well.
What's a copycat channel?
Just like other people doing slow-mo.
How
In lab
Slow-mo?
coats.
Slow-mo?
Shlomo, guys.
It's interesting though that the videos like that just never die. Like if I upload a new video, I don't upload very often, maybe like once every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That will get like a decent amount of views, maybe a couple of million. But the old balloon video will also get the same amount of views
Is it in like
in the same amount of
recommended
time.
videos?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Is like the algorithm's throwing it out there to enough people that it equals my new
I feel
video.
like it gets recommended for me all the fucking
really?
time.
Yeah.
All the time I see that goddamn video.
Yeah, it went to viral heaven. That's all I can say about
It's
it.
going to live there forever.
All right, well, it's about time to wrap up.
I'm upset about Austin. I'm starting to get upset with Austin as a city.
Because of Uber?
Starting to?
The Uber thing upset me, but also it's like people don't know this, that everyone, it's national news that Uber pulled out of Austin.
Yeah.
They don't know that like a year before that, we essentially banned Airbnb.
What?
Or we locked them down. So they did a thing where you weren't allowed to short-term rent your property unless you had a license from the city. Everybody's like, oh, come on. And they're like, no, it's a regulation. This is important because of the hotels are having to compete against us. You have to have a license and you have to tax properly for it. And it makes sense. And everybody's like, okay, fine. That makes sense. It's all legal. Totally makes sense. They go, great. As soon as those came in play, then they said, we're no longer issuing any more of these licenses.
What the fuck?
So they shut it down. It's a way they basically, there's no new growth for any kind of short-term rentals in Austin, which essentially locks out Airbnb. And HomeAway, which is fucking
Based out of
based in
here.
Austin,
Yep.
started in Austin. So then a year later but Uber did the thing where like, see ya, and they just left, which was, by the way, total dick move. The regulations for that didn't kick in until February.
Right.
So Uber was not going to lose a cent until February of 2017. They pulled out the day after that
Making a
vote went
stand.
through. They absolutely made a stand. And my argument that I made on Twitter was they put that on the backs of their drivers, where their drivers knew the vote was coming through, but they could have given them notice. They could have given them at least a month notice
At
to find
least.
other arrangements.
Well, they did have notice.
Did they though?
By like a day?
No, they knew it was coming.
They had noticed that it was a possibility.
Right, they didn't know if the vote was going to succeed or fail.
Right, but they knew that there was going to be a pullout if it failed.
Yeah. So it's like, why not pull out 2 weeks and say, oh, guys, we lost the vote. Fuck Austin. We're leaving in 2 weeks.
We'll give you a month to look for a job.
I hope that
or
when they
something.
come back, nobody uses them.
I kind of do too. Yeah, I kind of do too.
I will.
But the new thing is, it rains all the fucking time in Austin now in the spring.
Austin's broken. Like somebody needs to reset Austin.
Something's going on.
The first times I ever visited, there were actual summers, like summers of heat. Wasn't there like 100 days in a row? 100?
It was awful.
It was. We always try to come up with a
50?
number. It was like 75 days over 100 degrees.
Yeah.
There were 100 days that year over 100,
Was
but
that
I
what it
think
was?
75 were in a row.
Yeah, and now it just rains every day.
It just fucking rains all the time.
No. It rains like 5 days out of the week.
Sorry,
I mean,
sorry.
let's be
I
honest.
might
What
as
is
well-
going on with the rain?
Sometimes 6.5.
Global warming's ruining
Well, like
the
our
planet.
lakes were like at the bottom. It looked like the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi. And now it's like the dams are going to break because there's so much water there, which is a good thing. You know, it gives hope to people in California that could turn around so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what the fuck happened to the city? And there's the other thing which nobody knows about is the fucking guy throwing rocks on the freeway. Did you know that happened 3 more times this week?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, it's still going on?
It happens
It's-
all the time now.
It's constant now, Barb.
13 times this weekend.
It happened 13 times this weekend.
How are they not
There's
catching
some
this
dumb
guy?
motherfucker in Austin who's what?
He got caught tonight.
He
He
did?
got caught tonight?
Yeah, it was on the scanner.
Hey,
Thank
Oh
God.
my
Was
God!
he
They
killing
caught the
people?
guy throwing the rocks. So there's a guy who was throwing rocks off of overpasses on the freeway, or he was throwing rocks out of a car going in opposite directions on the freeway. They were punching through people's windshields and like getting glass all over them if they were lucky, or they were catching a fucking rock in the chest at 40 miles an hour because you
Easily
don't
enough.
drive ever faster than 40 miles an hour in Austin.
easily enough to kill you.
Dude, lunacy. Just like the guy's like a mental serial killer. And it's like, what's going on?
And in free
What's going on?
In his free time, he sits in front of a camera and smiles.
Dude, the subreddit for Austin, our Austin's going to be going nuts if they caught that guy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in the UK.
There
People would
was-
just hang bricks from string swing them down, and they would hit.
Fuck is wrong
They
with
would hit
people?
18 wheelers at exactly face height.
Ugh. There was talk on the Austin subreddit of people like trying to form up like vigilante groups to find this
What,
guy,
snipe him or
because
something?
there was a reward put out
Really?
by the city for information leading to an arrest in the case. So they're like, yeah, let's just all go and we'll find this guy and we'll just split the reward. It's like a posse in the old west.
Police investigating total of 83 rock throwing incidents.
Including
13
two
new
new
ones
ones.
reported over the weekend.
So could each one be treated as like attempted murder?
There should be.
They should.
Because then
be.
he's life, right? If
Yeah.
you're trying
I
to kill
hope so.
83 people.
God, it's just crazy. What does it take to do that? What's
rock.
it take mentally? Rock. Go find a fucking rock.
All right, we're wrapping up.
You
like a
mentioned what
monkey.
we're showing after the podcast?
No.
Okay.
So we're wrapping up, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being patient, waiting for us to unveil the new set. We certainly appreciate it. We know it took a while, but we think it was worth the wait.
Bye.
Love you.
Fuck Scott.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. We have a special guest with us today for our supplemental portion of the podcast. We got The Lonely Island with us.
Hi guys. How's it going?
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
We wanted to,
Dude, it's great to have you guys. We're huge fans. You
So-
guys
We're
always have
psyched to
been.
be here. Yeah, totally.
you know, I'll get the fanboy stuff out of the way.
Let's do it.
You know, when we started, you know, Rooster Teeth 13 years ago, I think early in the company, you know, we didn't do a lot of acting or a lot of live action stuff, but watching the content you guys started producing, it taught me early on that no matter how dumb I felt while we were filming, I needed to commit to something. Like watching the level of commitment you guys, you know, would put on camera
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you feel stupid when you're filming, but nobody sees that.
Of
They
course.
see
Yeah.
the final product. And
Yes.
it's like, that's really
No matter
key.
how dumb the joke. That's
Yeah.
very nice.
And you were editing it yourself, I assume, right?
I think Burnie
Or
Burns.
you-
It was
I mean, I just mean-
in the early
I just mean you were
That was always
protected
our
in
trick.
that if it was going to be bad, you could throw it away or you could fix it unless you
It's-
don't
yeah.
trust him.
Yeah.
It's a safe place to sort of explore that and be like, oh, I'm bad at this thing, but that actually doesn't make me cringe. Let's put that in.
Even when we do stuff like if we'll perform on a late night show or something like that, we still ask them if we can go into the booth afterwards and be like, hey, can we tweak some things?
Yeah.
Just because we always want to be protected, obviously.
I just did the reality show, The Amazing Race, and that was the toughest part of it. Was like knowing that there was gonna be somebody else like editing everything I
It's
did.
terrifying.
You were a
Yes.
contestant?
When you've been
Little
in control.
terrifying. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Congratulations. How was
Can't
it?
say.
Oh, of
But,
course.
we finished it. It's like this is.
You didn't die.
Actually, I didn't die.
Spoiler.
I took my fiance with me, and I miss her dearly.
Oh, no.
She did die.
Oh,
No,
Oh, rats.
We'll find out. We'll find
that
out.
is a spoiler.
I think actually by the time this airs, the finale for that will have aired, so everyone else will know. But
Yeah.
we won't.
So you're
know.
still in it.
So I
Fair
can
enough.
just say right now what happened.
But we have a little bit of an audience, so in studio, so we probably shouldn't say that.
Fair enough.
So I had a chance to watch the movie the other day, and
What'd you
and
think?
I loved it. The movie was great. The movie was hilarious. There were a lot of unexpected cameos. Like I watched the
Yes.
trailer and I was like, oh well, you know, these are all the people in the movie. And then you sit down, and you're like, oh, there are a ton more people.
Yes.
You weren't expecting. But I had to ask. So after I watched the film, I'd never actually seen Justin Bieber's Believe.
No. Yeah.
So then I was like, I wonder how much POPSTAR takes influence from that. So I started it up, and like the first set that he's at the concert is like the same concert set that Connor for Real has, even in the like it's
Really?
laid out. It seems like it's laid out exactly the same, like that 2-level with the DJ. And
Oh,
the
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay,
Although we
That's
did,
kind of
pretty
all of
classic
them.
yeah, we looked at a
Yeah.
lot of them, and
Yeah.
a lot of them had that.
Like
So,
Katy
yeah.
Perry's.
We tried to go a little
Yeah.
hard on the
One
screens.
Direction.
There's way more screens than most people have, honestly.
So how many times did you have to watch this kind of like fluff music
We
documentaries
watched
to
all of
prepare?
them,
watched them
and
all,
over and
yeah.
over. We watched the J-Lo one a bunch. We watched the Beyonce, like HBO one a lot. We watched Katy Perry, Part of Me, both the Justin Bieber.
One Direction.
But like
This Is Us, yeah.
One Direction one
ASAP
was directed by
like
Morgan
the-
Spurlock.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite good.
And
Pretty
there's
good.
great shots in it. They
Yeah.
he really like made it a little
It's in
artsy.
3D. You got to do 3D.
There's an
if you're gonna do
amazing
it.
setup at the end, which is just all of them staged around a campfire in the woods, just talking about what
And
it's
you
like.
know what? You fall in love with them all
You
over
really
again.
do. They're charming.
time
They're
lapse stuff.
charmers.
Yeah.
So how did this
I feel
idea
like
come
I should
about?
have a
Like,
laptop.
what's that?
I feel like I should have a laptop. I could be doing.
You could be texting on your
I'm sorry, I've got some very
Both
important
have-
stuff. I'm doing some stock
Both have
trading,
your
my actual
laptops.
job.
I'm not doing anything important. I'm taking tweets, which I'm trying to vet through these. So
That's
far.
important.
Like usernames like Skrillakilla69, your mom sucks, and stuff like that. So
Skrillakilla?
So that means
Yeah.
he kills money.
Did you guys ever do that? Like when you started
69
out?
times.
Did you like? What was your first email name? Did you have anything
Oh, I'm
embarrassing?
sure it had
Yeah.
Mine was
69 on it.
sophisticato at hotmail.com. that was my DJ name. I wanted to be called DJ Sophisticato.
When did you drop it?
right.
What did you keep it?
Who coined that? Was that? It may have been Jason Chang that called me that.
Did you follow that up with like DJ Unspellable?
No, I wanted to be DJ Rumple Skills Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
That's a good one.
Skills kid.
So I think of the Lonely Island a lot as far as being like
We think
very
about you guys a lot.
connected.
Yeah,
think
we
about you a
appreciate
lot,
that.
too.
I really don't
Oh,
think
he's-
that's true. I think he's lying. He's pandering. But I
Gus,
think
come on.
about you all as being very in touch with the internet and very connected to the internet. You produce videos that get huge. How does that affect you? Like, how do you deal with that feedback loop? Because I feel like on the internet, you produce something, there's that instant like comment box or there's an instant reaction.
I don't want to answer for these guys, but for me personally, it goes right to my head. You know what I mean? I'm just
Negative.
All
What
of the
about bad
insults?
ones?
yeah, no,
Those
no,
go
no,
right
no.
to your heart.
Yeah, those go right to my butt, and then
Oh, to your butt?
Yeah,
Jeez.
because I have like massive like diarrhea problems.
Jesus.
With
No,
negative
you're in good
comments.
company. Yeah.
And then
What a subtle way to put it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then,
thank
and
you for
then
toning
the
it
other
down
stuff
for the
just makes me
audience.
feel really confident.
Well, I'm just happy you made us all feel so comfortable.
I'm just trying to break the ice, you guys.
I know it is frosty in here.
It's a little cool.
Yeah, it's a real hostile environment.
Yeah.
So
lot of
Oh no, wait.
Judgment.
Let's actually answer that question. Sorry.
no, that's fine. We're talking about your diarrhea. I mean, that's an answer.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how you could talk about one without talking about the other.
How does
which part of it?
negative
I mean,
feedback-
I would say
Because I think there's two sides to it.
Yeah,
It's
of
like you
course.
post something and then there's
We
tons
like
of
it as a one-way street more.
there's
We're not taking much back.
well, there's tons of instant, gratification. Like, oh, you're so great. This is the best. It's
Right.
awesome. And then there's also the other side, which is you suck. This is the worst thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
You're the best thing you ever did was this, and it's all been downhill since there. So it's like it's in my mind, for me personally, it's always a balancing act. Like it's difficult to really try to reconcile the two and figure out, where the truth lies. Obviously, the truth's not at one extreme or the other, but
Correct,
how do you
Right.
deal with trying to find that balance in the middle?
it's tough. I mean, you could get like 1,000 really, really nice comments, and then you read the one that is like, I hope this person shoots themselves in the head so they never procreate. And you'll remember that one more probably than the nice ones.
Yeah.
Procreation might not be on the table for that guy.
No, but
Maybe not.
But I wouldn't say that we take it like Kevin Smith's that movie that they made about like going and finding and killing the people that like said the,
Jay
like
and
negative
Silent Bob
comments.
Strike
Yeah,
Back.
yeah. Like it's not like I take that to heart and I'm like,
I thought it was
I really
interesting
gotta.
to commit an entire project to getting
like
back
it.
at
Yeah,
internet
It's pretty
commenters.
funny. Yeah.
It's kind of what Ratatouille is about as well. That's the one that really spoke to me.
Talk more about that.
Have you seen it? It's a Pixar film. Patton Oswalt does the main voice.
Right?
It's this rat, but he can cook. What?
No, it's delightful. It's really delightful.
So yeah, I can see the parallel.
No, it makes
It is a parallel. It's about that reviewer, and he's a big
about
cynical
criticism.
jerk. It's about
It
criticism.
is,
It's
it is.
literally about the same thing. So yeah,
I got to
You
rewatch it
didn't
now.
say that part. You just said it's about a rat that's
Who
like
can cook?
Yeah,
No.
I'll rewatch it. I think upon further viewings,
Yeah.
it'll really show.
I find
through.
it's way easier to get mad at professional critics than just, people on the internet. Way easier.
Yes,
yeah, because
I've
it's
done
their
that
job,
before.
and if they don't know what they're talking about, you're like,
Actually,
your
like
job.
when we screened MacGruber here at South by years and years ago, I remember getting online because one dude, I think it was at Cinema Blend. I want to call him out, and I was so mad at this review because I was just like, we're this little movie, and you need to support those things because I mean it's not like everyone has to like everything, but I remember being so mad that I actually created like a fake name and like responded to his thing and was like, I don't know, I kind of liked it, like just like say whatever lame thing. That's the
all
lamest
count?
I've ever been.
You were a
that's
comment
real,
narc.
You're really confessing a lot
embarrassing.
today. So we got
Yeah.
the butt problems.
Yeah,
and
I got diarrhea, and I'm
and-
like a little
Oh,
petty.
stop
jerk.
Maybe I'll
saying
make
it.
word.
a fake-
I made a butt
God, even as a
problems.
joke,
He
stop
made the
saying
fake
it.
account while on the toilet,
Yeah.
He did all the posting there.
It doesn't seem like he needs a fake account. It seems like he's living his truth now. Very
He's
openly.
really living out
I want to
loud.
apologize. To
Yeah, he's
all your
living out
listeners,
loud.
Gus,
Oh,
who was
yeah,
the CEO who made the fake account? He got busted
Oh, it was
for-
the Whole Foods CEO.
Yeah, they were gonna buy a company, and he got
Oh.
on in a fake name and was trying to suppress their price by posting a bunch of negative stuff about it. But in the middle of all that, we're posted that account made of like talking about the CEO saying, "Hey, did anybody notice he got a new haircut? He looks really good." It was like,
No way.
It was really bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like on one hand trying to destroy this other company's stock price, and on the other hand trying to inflate his own ego and
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
When I did it, I wasn't like, P.S. Yorma's
By
cute.
the way, the director of the movie seemed like a real hunk.
I bet he doesn't have diarrhea at all.
Unrelated issue.
I've heard
Bowel movements are totally normal.
yeah, I do the same thing a lot where I'll go online and I don't always necessarily make accounts to say good things about myself. I'll make accounts to say bad things about myself too.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and it goes back to the dichotomy.
What's
it's like,
wrong with you?
I want to hear both sides, and it's like I don't want to
In your brain, in your own mind.
I just
you
want to
hear
read it.
both
Like I
sides?
want to
This
say
is
like. If people are going to say bad things about me, what is it? I'm going to type that, and I'll just type bad things about myself and see like what kind of
you
feedback
find that freeing?
gets.
You feel that freeing?
that's funny.
And then you're hoping somebody goes, "Hey, man, you're wrong. He is
Exactly.
cool."
You're seeing
You're
who
like,
will come to your
"Oh."
rescue.
No. I think
See
it's
who
more
your real
about just
friends
trying
are.
to see. I want to find out the bad things people say about me before it shocks me. Like I want to see it on my
Oh,
own
I see.
time. Like
Yeah.
You're doing
oh,
like
okay.
Eminem at the end of 8 Mile. You
That's
like
fair.
tell these people
Oh, yeah,
something they
yes.
don't already know
So
about
you're
me.
fishing for insults.
Right, I'm fishing for insults. That way, like when I get hit with one, it's like, oh no, I
Yeah.
already heard that one. That's
You're like,
cool.
yeah,
I already
yeah,
heard
yeah. I
that one
said
when
it.
I
so-
said it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, that's you guys. That's fucked up. I don't know what's wrong with you. Have you ever
No, that's some
replied-
dark. There's something wrong. Here.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Have you ever replied to one of your own like accounts with the other one to have an argument with each other?
I've done that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
What?
that's a joke.
No, well, no, okay. So I created. This is so weird. Do you want to hear about this?
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
I created this
Absolutely.
blog that was called Deflamer.com. It's on Blogspot, I believe. It's called Deflamer, and it's about a recent divorcee who moves to New York City to become a firefighter.
It's like a character study.
a
We were
cha-
just doing like posts from a character perspective.
Yeah,
as a joke.
and
It's
his
like
life
it's telling a
sucks, and
story.
he's trying to get a job at the Hard Rock Cafe, and he's like really excited about the menu, and everybody hates him very clearly, and he loves Smokey the Bear, obviously, because he wants to be a firefighter. And I made a video posted by the wacky arsonist who hates Smokey the Bear. You can find this on YouTube.
So we
and
can
Smokey
make,
the
like, a
Bear
war
just
between
goes
the two
around
of 'em.
farting and says, "I'm Smokey the Bear, and I'm a dumb idiot." And then the wacky arsonist and Deflamer have a battle in comments where they're commenting on each other's stuff and they hate each other. That's how weird I am.
Yeah.
And
And then we never told anybody about any of it or made it
no,
until
nobody
this
knows
moment.
about this. This is the first
That
time
was
I've
like
done
10
that.
years ago. We were like, let's not tell anybody. Let's just let it live out there, and we'll never direct traffic towards it or have any way for people to find it.
That's amazing.
And then,
just
and then it
exists.
became a thing in the feed of like people coming to the defense of one
Yeah,
or the
being
other
like,
one.
hey, the Smokey
Be
the
like,
Bear does
I like the
represent-
wacky arsonist.
He just made a silly video. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We really.
It's like a
Do you guys
social
consider
experiment.
yourselves at your core like
Artists?
a digital group? You know, are you? I mean, what's your origin? How'd you guys all meet, and how'd you get going?
Well, I mean, we met in I met Akiva in junior high school, and then we met Andy. Like, we really all started hanging out, the three of us, early high school, like 14, 15 years old in Berkeley, California.
I'm just holding my breath over here. That Incredibad is a true story. The song.
Pretty
No.
much.
No, we
But
didn't
An
fucking
alien
know
came down and
Thank-
demanded we inseminate it.
That's one way to put it. You guys saved a civilization. That's another way to put it.
Yes.
You guys are
Thank
good.
you.
We all messed around in high school, but there was no camera equipment like there is today. That like, I mean, we had cameras and like little hi8 tape
Yeah.
stuff that we were fucking around with, but
Yeah,
it
you
was
couldn't
not
just
the way
you
it
couldn't
was.
edit things
Couldn't
on
edit,
your home phone.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I think about your earliest hits, you know, like when I think about the first thing that I identified you guys as a group for, I might have seen your stuff before, but Lazy Sunday was one of the earliest YouTube hits. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
one of the things that put YouTube on the map as a platform because everyone, you know, wanted to share this thing that was on SNL. They couldn't go see it. There was no like NBC portal or anything like that. I'm sure it wasn't even you guys that uploaded it. It was, you
wasn't.
know, it was
it
absolutely
wasn't.
huge. And this is that was before Google, right?
We
Wasn't
hadn't heard of
Yeah.
YouTube until Lazy Sunday.
Right.
Well, I don't think many people had. I think YouTube was less than a year old at that point.
Google exists.
Yeah, I think it was like 6 months.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah,
you know,
Google
like
was around.
Yeah.
like Bernie said, it's definitely one of the things that legitimized it as a platform. It's like, and this company exists because of that. Like I know I saw the episode when it aired, and then I went to YouTube, and that's how I found it. I think lots of people did that.
Right.
If
Well,
it
that's-
wasn't us, it would have been somebody else. I'm sure.
No, but
at
that
some
is why
point.
they gave us so much stock in the company.
that's why
and
we're billionaires.
billionaires, and everything worked out for
Congratulations,
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
us and the guy from History of Dance are billionaires.
Evolution of dance.
I think the two things I
Oh,
remember.
well,
remember when Jon Stewart went on Crossfire and just blasted Tucker Carlson? Those
Yeah.
Lazy Sunday and that were like the two videos I considered that put YouTube on the map.
I
where
love that video.
Everybody
I
wanted to
enjoyed
go.
the
Everybody was
hell out of
talking
that.
about it and wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I believe it increased their traffic by 80%, and I'm quoting Time Magazine. I believe.
Really?
Really?
But if that's
quote.
wrong, that's Time Magazine's fault.
That's
not
their
my
fault.
And that's why they gave us 80% of the company and why we're rich now.
I guess my only question to Kiva is, what is a magazine?
That's a very excellent question.
It might have been something more relevant in 2005.
But I think it was a
Correct.
zine, actually.
But I was one of those people that I think I had probably dropped out of watching SNL, and it was the digital shorts that hooked me back in. And I can imagine for people who are younger than me, that was their first introduction to SNL, was the digital shorts that you guys did.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's
Well,
possible,
thanks.
Yeah, that's very cool to hear.
It became like a huge viral marketing campaign.
It was
for
like
the show.
bite-sized, little bits of comedy. It's like, this pre-produced thing, and then, as YouTube and as other internet sites take off, it's like an easy way to just spread it and market
Yeah.
it and direct back.
SNL's
but if-
perfect
It was
for
a
the
little-
internet.
Yeah, if
that
the
way,
internet had
yeah.
existed, probably Wayne's World would have been a viral hit on YouTube, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
timing, right?
Yeah, it's a good timing.
I think it's a difference in technology. Like you think about like if Wayne's World was a real thing, like that's the kind of thing you would have shared on VHS tapes, or like you would have like a
Right.
copy of a copy.
I mean, we did.
Which is what
Right.
people
yeah.
did. They
Or
would record the
cowbell
show
or-
and yeah.
This has a little bit of a Wayne's World vibe, you guys? I mean,
Yeah,
we're
the little
like
the
kind of in a-
Perry's
like it.
basement kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's like when Kramer finds the old Merv Griffin set. That was the inspiration
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah, sets
That's
it up in
right.
his living room.
that was definitely the inspiration for the Red Arches.
Oh, yeah.
And we had
yeah.
some light runners that go through there. They're not on right now though.
That's awesome.
We should have made you guys enter through the curtain. That'd have been nice.
We could still do it.
We'll get
We'll
it
go
on-
out through it.
on
Pick
an
it up.
outro.
We'll pick it up
Hey.
later, and then we'll tack it on
We're
to the
supposed
front.
to be getting a new set. This is
Yeah, our tables.
No, don't. This looks
one of our fans made
great.
us a Thor hammer, and I hit the table with it the other
Oh,
day.
it's the real
Holy
deal.
shit, that's
To,
real.
Trying to convince Gus to.
Can I
move up.
re-break it?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely.
Go for it.
At
Wait,
the
there's,
end
like,
of it
stuff
or
under
now?
it.
Be
You're gonna
careful.
break it now.
Yeah, and there's
careful.
like stuff. Let's do it at the end.
I'll do it at the end. We'll tack it
I'll
on
get
at
the
the
stuff
top.
So
yeah, it'll start the whole segment with it smashing
Yeah,
the table.
that'll be good for continuity.
Start
There we
it
go.
with it smashing, then it just magically reappears. That thing's heavy.
Pretty heavy. Just the weight of it'll do it.
You're heavy, man.
I don't like this.
No.
that's a strong table.
Solid hit.
God, what a strong.
Here's what I recommend. Go for a leg.
Oh, well, yeah, it's breaking. Oh, there's like,
Yay! Yay!
my God.
So I can now say that I have collaborated with
not
Andy
expect
Samberg on a
that.
project.
So
Here
yeah,
it
the
is.
movie is POPSTAR.
That
Never
was-
Stop, Never Stopping. It comes out June 3rd. We're
boy.
so excited.
We do this everywhere we go, guys.
That was a precious heirloom. That's
Thank
been in
you
my
for letting me do that. That felt great.
It is, right?
Yes.
When you're
It was a very satisfying sound.
Now I'm all comfortable.
Just like, you should have
cigarette?
You should have
Oh my
like a
God, I do wanna-
selection
yeah, I
of
wanna
pre-made
smoke.
shitty IKEA furniture at your home, and when you come home every day, just get a hammer and be like, "Woo, okay, good. Now time to relax."
I feel like I should have busted out like a pack of cloves.
Do you feel a little
That would
sweaty
be
now?
great.
Because that it seemed heavy.
It's very. You
Not
want?
sweaty.
You're welcome to take down the other side of the table if you want to, Yorm.
No.
Yorm, pick it up with your feet.
I'm good, man. Like, then it's gonna ruin my little
Yeah.
perch that I
This,
have. here.
this is way more comfortable now. The table, I like it a lot better.
Are you
mad?
Well, no, we'll keep it like this.
Tell me if you're mad.
No,
Are
we're
you
not mad. I'm
All
not
right.
mad. We'll keep it like this until
Was
we
this from
replace
your
the set.
house?
It was. I mean, my grandmother gave this to me as she died.
I
I mean,
I wish I had like
you like
$100
her?
bill or something that I could have just been like,
Yeah.
go get a new table.
Buy a new table, chumps.
Sorry about the mess.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very
See-
Al Capone.
or it definitely seems like a very Connor for real from
Yes.
Popstar bringing it back to the movie.
That's right.
Thank
He
you.
does have a
Seamlessly.
hammer
Solid.
in the beginning opening.
Oh yeah.
But-
Yeah, he throws a hammer.
You know, I think it's a lot. You know, the movie's all about an emotionally stunted person, you know, who doesn't know how to deal with the changes that are going on in their life.
Yes.
And I was a huge fan. There were many laugh out loud moments. I wish we could talk about.
Wait, so
some
who got
of
to see it? You-
I
you
got
didn't
to
get
see
to
it.
see it. Okay, gotcha,
Yeah, Bernie
gotcha.
was unable to attend, and
That's
it was great.
Thanks.
I think it's coming out June 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
June 3rd.
It was you guys
There's
and
a soundtrack too that has some songs that aren't even in the movie. And it'll come out
Can
the
you
same
say
day.
what your favorite song from the movie was? We can cut it out if it's spoilerish.
We almost harmonized on that.
I would say, yeah. What's your fave, man? Yeah. That I like a lot.
Yeah.
There's-
Credits.
Yeah, that was
We're
the
just
credits. Yeah, that
naming
was
songs
shocking.
in the
Stay through the
movie.
credits.
Yeah,
or-
that was shocking.
Okay.
I was like, just kind of watching the credits. I was
Just a
listening to the
joke
song.
right
Like,
at
oh
the
wait,
end.
that's
There's a whole other song here.
yeah. This is interesting.
That was our hope. I hope, we're hoping people will who like the music sit through the
No,
credits.
but it is crazy how many things we cut out of this movie just because we really wanted it to be tight. It's 82 minutes with like without credits, and like we cut out a song with Akon.
Oh God!
Like which is like, and it's a good song, but that's on the soundtrack. We have a song. Oh well, his song has Linkin Park on it now. The
Okay.
just replaced me. And I don't know, but like, there's a ton of
Yeah, all the songs are great, and like you said, the movie's really tight. I mean, it's just like laugh. It's just like set up, laugh. I mean, it's just
That's awesome.
It's really good. I think
What you just said was our
it's
great
good.
hope. So I hope everyone agrees with
nailed
you.
it. You got validation from
Okay.
some guy on the internet.
Good.
I'm going to see the trailer. I'm going to click thumbs up.
Nice. We'll take it.
After you broke his table too.
If you're
So
gonna
you know it's
comment
true.
on it, you can just do those ones. We don't need you to also
I don't need-
balance out the internet.
Okay, I'll just be me. I won't set up my fake accounts.
Yeah, that's
But your grandmother is gonna give us a big thumbs down.
Should I feel
from the
shitty
grave.
now about the table? They said I should do it.
Definitely. I believe I was promised $100 somewhere in there. I heard some
I feel
mention
like
of
we
that.
should-
All right. Well, everyone should go check it out and get the soundtrack. June 3rd, Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Yes.
Genius
Thank you.
title. Thanks for watching, everybody.
This was
and
fun.
thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we really
thanks for having
appreciate
us.
it.
Thanks for having us.
This
This
was
is
super
rad.
cool.
And I'm sorry about the table.
Nah.
He's not sorry at all.
He's not.
so good.
Bye.
He loved doing that.